Ready. Play.
Novak Djokovic coming up against Lorenzo Musetti. And by the way, I'm just going to interject at this point, all of these matches that we're previewing right now are going to be live on the channel on Watchalongs tomorrow. Even though they may be happening simultaneously and over the top of each other and whatever, overlapping, they will all be on the channel, including this one, which is Novak Djokovic against Lorenzo Musetti. Djokovic has not dropped a set en route to the final. There was a round of 16 clash against Tabilo, then it was Borges, and then today Hanfmann. There was a little wobble in the second set against Hanfmann today when Djokovic was down a break, but then broke in consecutive games and then eventually served it out. Up against Lorenzo, it's a matchup, by the way, where Djokovic has an 8-1 head-to-head advantage. Djokovic, of course, is not quite committed 100% for the ATP Tour finals. But honestly, unless he gets really beaten up tomorrow or injured, injured, by the way. If he loses love and one, I still think we'll see him in Turin. But I think something physically really not good tomorrow would have to happen for Novak not to travel to Turin. I think he quite likes the continuous tennis. We've seen it a lot pre-French Open where he'll take a run up with a tournament in the build-up, and I think he feels the same. I also think that, he looked at Athens as being listen, I've got, before even a ball was hit, I've got like a 60 or 70% chance of winning this title, given that it's a 250. And yet I've probably got a 20% chance in Turin. So let's go all in for Athens, see where we end up, and see you in Turin as well. What are your thoughts on Novak throughout this tournament, looking forward, and also his matchup with Lorenzo?
Yeah, this is really interesting, John. We have this case where if Djokovic wins, he's obviously very likely to go to Turin, and that will mean Felix Auger-Aliassime will join him.
Oh, yeah,
But if he loses, or Musetti wins, Musetti and Djokovic will both be taking the trip to Turin, likely. A little bit about this tournament, just like as we talked about earlier in the week, like super interesting. First time tournament in Athens. Djokovic's brother being the tournament director, and it's, like you said, it is essentially just a lead up to Turin. Talking about, I'll do a quick little anecdote on Paris in terms of how they plan to make the courts similar to Turin, and that wasn't the case. It was, significantly slower. Whereas I feel like this surface in Athens is actually a lot more similar to Turin in terms of pace, low bouncing. And they actually use the ATP Dunlop balls, which are the same ones as they use in Turin. So not to say that lined up on purpose, but maybe a little coincidence, but it does play into Djokovic and I guess Musetti's favor as they do try and prepare for Turin. But getting back to the match, Djokovic has been fine, kind of what we expected. Gotten everything done in straight sets, as you mentioned. So there's nothing like glaring for me. It's really just about kind of controlling the tempo as he does. Musetti is someone who wants to extend these rallies, and I think Djokovic is going to recognize that, stand a little bit tighter to the baseline, and look to get as much angle as he could. Today against Korda, it was very interesting to see him climb back into the match. Obviously, Korda is just like a very beautiful ball striker and can change directions very easily with pace. Djokovic a little bit more methodical, but does that at a higher level. So Musetti wasn't finding much success, and obviously, tip my cap to Musetti because he obviously went through a lot emotionally in that match, but the serving was so important when he needed it. That kind of got him out of jams. So interesting matchup, and obviously an interesting head-to-head and circumstance.
Yeah. One win for Musetti, and that came on the clay in Monte Carlo. By the way, just for those wondering about the groups at the ATP finals, as I think I'm showing now on the screen, you can see that Djokovic is in a group with Alcaraz, Fritz, and De Minaur. The reason why I think it's kind of funny is because Musetti, in my opinion, has little to no chance of getting out of the group that he's in. It's obviously the other group with Sinner and Zverev and Shelton. And yet, I think if Felix qualifies, I think he's got something around about 50-50. He's got a chance, anyway, of qualifying probably alongside Jannik. So the reason I'm mentioning it is just because if Novak had Musetti in his group, it might even be beneficial for him to lose today, not give too many clues away, and then boom, next week beat Musetti in Turin. But that is not a scenario. So, yeah, the other thing, though, when it comes to Musetti, not won a title since 2022. And there's been some painful losses as well in there, none more so than recently in the Asian swing in a 250 to Tabilo in a final. Tabilo, of course, is a player that Djokovic has beaten en route to the final here. So what are we thinking in terms of predicting this outcome? Oh, but just before we do, actually, I just want to quickly highlight Musetti's run to the final, which has been a lot more interesting and a bit more of a roller coaster than Novak's, who's pretty much serenely proceeded to the final. We see that Wawrinka match, very tight, that second set. Could have gone either way, that tiebreaker, and probably took that momentum into the third set. A bit more comfortable against Muller, but again, a roller coaster day. Bagels, Korda, loses the second set 7-5. A third set, nip and tuck, and yet here we are. Anyway, anything you want to add to Musetti's run, or just get straight into a prediction? Up to you, Brenner.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is what concerns me is the Musetti kind of mentality. I know how much he believes in himself, and we understand he knows his game so well and he sticks to it. But I think one thing comes to mind: serving. I think about that match versus Pesci Pericard, and was it Souls? Yeah, where he has a chance to take the second set. And obviously, all of this is in the build-up to Turin, right? He needs every point possible, and he gets that point and double faults twice in a row, and essentially hands GMP the match. We saw some of that today, and that's something that concerns me a bit, given that you're going up against Djokovic in a final with essentially a home crowd. I think that could pay some dividends, especially when he is serving.
I mean, the mental side, and also against Novak, has been a case for 4.5 years. I actually spoke to Lorenzo last year. It was a good interview out there on the Talking Tennis channel. So do check that out, that I did with him a year ago. And we reflected on the Novak match in the French Open of 2021, arguably a breakout match in so many ways for Lorenzo. Goes up 2-0 and then wins one game across the next 3 sets before retiring. Anyway, we talked a bit about that, and do check out that video. But yeah, again, that day, it didn't feel as though he was quite ready when the momentum swung against him to dig deep and get things back on track in that match. And then the 3 matches they've played on a hard court, 2 outdoors, 1 indoor, he's barely laid a glove on Novak, losing all 6 sets across those hard court matches. And to be honest with you, I think we're going to see the same tomorrow. I'm going for Novak in straights.
I will as well.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Hi, Novak. I don't know if you saw what Vasek said last night about organising, and tennis could and should be even bigger than it already is. If only the people organising it were doing their job properly. He highlighted the balls, he highlighted playing late at night and then early in the morning, and injuries. I just wondered whether you heard that, but also if you'd like to add something.
No, I haven't heard that. I actually saw Vasek just before I came here to see you guys, but I haven't seen his statement on that. But there's been a lot of discussions on the effect of the different balls and basically every week on the joints and the wrist and the shoulders and the elbows. And I think someone told me that in terms of injuries this year comparing to other years is drastically has gone up. So in terms of the balls, I absolutely agree. There should be some discussion on that. I actually spoke about that with Andrea Gaudenzi, the ATP president, and Massimo, who is the CEO, in Paris during the Paris-Bercy week. And I shared my opinion and my views, and then obviously they are thinking about various different options and ways of how to regulate that and how to make it better for the players and prevent injuries. In terms of the scheduling, I think there has been a lot of criticism and a lot of, basically players complaining about it. So I think that should be addressed in a proper way. Obviously, Davis Cup and ITF is regulated differently from ATP Tour and from Grand Slams. You have different governing bodies, different schedules, different broadcasting demands. In the end of the day, we know that the TV is the one deciding, fortunately or unfortunately, but there has to be more, I guess, thorough discussions on that as well.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Well, James, we are back again. How are we doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Zach? How are you doing?
I'm good. Our internet streams might not be fully synced up, so this is going to be interesting, but not as interesting as the tennis that we've got in front of us today. Looks like they're shaking hands at the net. Absolutely love when the players wear the exact same color. That's super duper. James, where in the wide world are you broadcasting from, and what's happening, man?
Well, broadcasting from where I usually am based, which is in the southeast of the UK, and nothing much is happening. But in fact, it's a bit of a sunny day. I've got the last dregs of sunlight as it's late afternoon. We're now into November, so it means that we barely get any sunlight throughout the day, which is always fun. But just looking forward to the fact that we've got. Trying to almost like do this sort of like something in the UK we have, which is called like Soccer Saturday or Final Focus, which is where we're going to have loads of different matches that we're going to be trying to at least letting people know about on loads of different streams. So this is going to be an interesting one.
It is. It's going to be very exciting to get started with the pride of Greece, Novak Djokovic, the greatest tennis player of all time. Look, so I know that everybody's here probably primarily for that match, but James, you and I, we have an affliction. We have, dare I say, an addiction. For me, to that sweet, sweet game and touch of Lerner TN. To you, to whatever it is about Cam Norrie that gets you excited. And that, to me, is going to be the match of the day. Is that your match of the day? And if so, why?
Oh, it depends on how the result goes, really, Zach. If Norrie wins and it's an okay performance, I'm saying it's a match of the day. I usually try not to on this channel at least do or cover matches that involve players like Cameron, but players like Draper or a couple of others, just because I will get too emotionally invested in those matches, and I'm going to get unbelievable. And that rule's going to be broken here because my guy Cameron Norrie has managed to get himself to a final on the last week of the season for many of the regular players. I'm hoping it goes well. They've played they've played each other 3 times this year already. Cameron winning the first one in Hong Kong right at the beginning of the year, before Leonard Tien getting his revenge in Acapulco and Shanghai throughout the year. But these are conditions which Cameron seems to be thriving very well on indoor hard courts. Bizarrely, I counted it up this year. He's won 34 matches, 10 and 9 of them have been indoors. And I'm like, this is a completely different Cameron Norrie to one in which I'm used to following. And maybe it's not Leonard Tien's favoured surface just yet. I mean, he's more of an outdoor hard court guy. So
don't put Lerner in a box like that.
From my perspective, at least, that it is going to be Cameron.
Leonard Tien will not be boxed in by the expectations of others because he's playing against one person, and that's himself. Because the only person that can stop Leonard Tien is Leonard Tien. Forgive me, I've tried to switch from my mic, from the wrong mic to the right mic, so I hope my audio is improved. I see in the chat a very important question, particularly for the tennis community. It's about a minor league baseball team. It's from Ghost of Garolitis. Is that a Durham Bulls cap? Yes, it is. It is the Durham Bulls, for those of you all that are not aware, is the greatest minor league baseball team in the history of the world, and coincidentally about 10 minutes away from where I live. As we are watching the players warm up their serves, I wonder if Novak Djokovic has seen Bull Durham. Probably not, but I'll tell you what he has seen. He has seen John Silk ask him a very good question. Love that question that got shown in the lead up to this. And also, I like Djokovic's answer to some extent. I wish he was a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more direct. But these are the kinds of questions that need to be getting asked more and more, which is, are the governing bodies doing a good job? And it's a pretty simple answer. No, they're not in tennis. So hopefully that more media will follow the lead of folks like John Silk and Talking Tennis, then ask these tough questions and demand more accountability from the governing bodies to do more for the players and more for the fans. James, is there anything in particular that you would like to see tennis as a governing body do differently? I think we might have a bit of lag here.
With the big questions.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a tad bit of lag. I'm trying to run. It's stretching my internet to the absolute breaking point, I think, at this stage. But it's, what would I want the governing bodies to do? That's a very good question. I think, well, the first thing I would prefer is if we could have a bit of a reduction in the 12-day Masters events. We've had them now, or the majority of them now, for the last few years, and I must admit, when we were watching, when Paris was on last week, and I think I said it on the stream, it was beautiful. It was bliss. It was, it was bangers of matches every single day of the week. It was packed schedules, packed fan bases, and it was, and we got that. We got to the best players playing in the world over the course of a week. I thought that was brilliant, and I really wished we would go back to, okay, maybe not. We're not necessarily going to go back to a world where it was in, say, the 2022 season, where it was just in Indian Wells and Miami as those 12-day events, but some sort of hybrid where maybe instead of both Rome and Madrid being 12 days, have one of them be. I'm back. Can you hear me okay?
James, we're having a bit of a hard time with your audio. You are back as the match is getting... Yes, I can, and the match is getting underway, so good timing. Totally agree with you, but as the match is getting started, who, if you were a betting man, James, I think that you're legally permitted to do, I believe in your country and mine at this point, who would you be putting your money on to win heads up?
Djokovic.
And this is going to break my heart, James.
Easy as that.
It's going to break my heart. I think Musetti's going to win this match. I so want Djokovic to win. I am a fan. I am an unabashed fan. The missteps that he's made over the past however many years, the questionable public health choice, I do not care. I think he's wrong, but I like him for his tennis, and I love watching that man play tennis. And I just don't know that he's got. I don't know that he's got what it takes anymore to certainly not to beat Alcaraz and Sinner, but even the rest of those guys, the next generation that's that's coming up behind him. I don't know if he's got what it takes in big matches, and so I will be shamelessly rooting for the Joker, the GOAT, but I kind of think Musetti's going to win this thing.
No, it's good.
And you know what? With sloppy misses like that, it just could happen. Yeah, I agree with Ghosty James as well. Musetti's got a lot of great variety. You know, I don't know that is something that the Djokovic can't handle necessarily, but it does add a little bit of flair to the match. And I think it's something that will get the crowd behind him, which now in his new home country of Greece, I'm sure would be very frustrating for the GOAT. Hey, speaking of which, can you explain to me why he now lives in Greece? Oh, what a point there!
So my
at 15:30.
understanding is that there's politics. My understanding is that there is politics involved in this, which is, you know, up until a couple of years ago, Djokovic, as we know, is pretty much seen as a god in Serbia. He, as was famously said by, I think, the president of Serbia during the COVID deportation issue had in Australia a few years ago. You know, Novak is Serbia, is how it's described, and then his slight on Novak is a slight on Serbia in itself, and they tie a lot of his nationalistic instincts towards Novak, and he was beloved, and it pretty much had a godlike reception when he returned after winning the Paris Olympic medal last year. But in between those times, there has been some student protests in Serbia. Certainly around pro-democracy and around upholding a correct rule of law, which was basically against the president of Serbia and against the ruling party in Serbia. And Novak backed those student protests, and ever since that happened, he was kind of deemed a bit of a traitor or committing treason close to the people of Serbia in the eyes of the ruling governing bodies, and he wasn't able to then live there. So he's ended up moving south. Serbia and Greece are not too far from each other, in the same sort of Baltic area of southeast Europe. And he's decided to enroll his kids here, buy a big house, and his brother has started the tournament in Athens, the 250 tournament in Athens as well. So hence the reason Novak is now a Griefian. He's also someone with pretty nice weather. Or pretty much all year round, so it's not probably a bad decision to want to move there.
My absolutely bonkers prediction of the day that has very little to do with tennis, but is peripherally related, is that when Djokovic retires, he has kind of indicated that he's open to this. I think that he's going to work to try and reunite the former Yugoslavia. I think that is a real thing that we are going to see him do in retirement. Because when you've conquered a sport entirely, which he has, and is unquestionably the greatest ever to do it, what do you do next? What do you set your sights on next as Djokovic gets the first hold? Not quite easy, not quite difficult, not a deuce game, but not a love game either. Overall looks solid. There was at one point, James, that was a lot of fun, a bit of a scramble. I did see that Djokovic was going to the umpire, showing him the ball. I didn't quite catch what he was saying. Were you able to pick up on what the deal was there? And if not, in the chat, please chime in with what the heck's happening.
Yeah, I haven't got sound on, so the only sound I'm hearing is your voice, Zach.
That poor you. Oh God. The producer points out it seemed friendly enough, though.
It does. I mean, one of the really interesting things, of course, is the fact that we have, and it's given the motivations of both these two players, is that, Djokovic has been the tournament owned by his brother, and Lorenzo, in that desire to seek that final place in Turin, is that, it's, incredibly rare for us to get two top 10 players playing a final at the 250 level.
Yeah.
I think it happened earlier this season. I've forgotten where, but it definitely happened earlier this season. But before that, it was something like I think it certainly happened in like 23 in Borstad, where at the time, but quite a rare occurrence that we get 2 top 10 players playing each other in the final of the 250.
I'll tell you this much, James. That is never going to happen in Winston-Salem. As much as I love the Winston-Salem Open, unless they change the dates, it ain't happening there. And yeah, it is really rare. It is really exciting. Not only are they in the final of the 250, they both have, very real reasons why it matters more than a normal match or more than a normal 250, with it being the family tournament versus that last spot in Turin, as you pointed out. Like this is as high stakes as you will ever see a top 10 matchup in a 250 be. I think that's really neat. I think we're really lucky. Greece also has a special place in my heart because it's where my wife and I went for our honeymoon, and Athens is in just incredible global city. The culture, the food, it's remarkable. It is wild though, walking around, you'll see just like a chain link fence and like, I don't know, ruins of something 3,300 years old, just sitting there, 3,000 years old, just sitting there. And it's like, oh man, they should really figure out how to like do more than just put a chain link fence around whatever that is. But hey, maybe that'll be something that Novak does in his free time once he retires, is help clean some things up.
Certainly, maybe. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed actually with the Athens tournament. They didn't find a way to, use some of the, historic ancient architecture as part of their as part of the scenery. I know that they did.
Yes.
At least they make like fake type ones at the in the Stadio Italio, where the Italian Open Rome is set. Where they have like sort of fake sort of statues, and they make the stadiums look like look like something from like the Colosseum.
Hear me out on this. You could definitely put a tennis court up on the Parthenon. Like, you for sure could. I mean, it would be like a logistical nightmare, but it could be done. How cool would that be if the final was played on the in or on the Parthenon, whatever the right word is there? And yeah, I think that is a really, really great piece of feedback. When you're in a global city like that with that kind of history, you just got, well, you don't have to, but it would be great if they had done a little bit more. You're totally right.
By the way, I've closed down the other 2 streams on my thing to try at least make my internet connection a bit more stable and stop me cutting out so regularly.
You are here all the way. You are present. You are with us, and you are with us with the internet at the moment. So awesome. As we are now at 1-1. Musetti's one-hander, it is a thing of beauty. I'm curious, James, if you think that he has the best one-hander on tour today.
Ooh, today, that's a good question. Do you know what? I could certainly see an argument for that. I think it's the one that can stand up to most scrutiny when put under pressure. I mean, beforehand, you would have said maybe Tsitsipas, even Thiem, even though he was injured, his one-handed backhand was still money. But yeah, I'd certainly say just because of the ability that one-hander has to withstand attacking pressure.
Oh, and there he is. There he is making the point. Throwing an exclamation point and ending the conversation with an absolutely saucy one-handed passing backhand. My goodness. Look at this. Oh, that's so mean. That's a spirit breaker right there.
I just clocked it.
My goodness. And Ghosty puts in the chat that he remember the days when Djokovic was a kid and his dad would talk smack to people in the stands, and indicates that he misses those days. I do as well. I like a little bit of passion, a little bit of fire from both the players and their boxes and the fans. And I think like we'd be good to come down off of our high horse a little bit as a sport and let people get into it a little bit more. Let the fans cheer, let them make noise during points, etc. Oh, great rally here as Musetti gets it done and will now have 3 break points against the GOAT. 3 break points.
A little bit ahead of
apologies. Let me tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and pause this right as Djokovic is about to serve at love 40, and then you just tell me when to click play, and then we will be in sync like the late 90s.
Perfect.
By the way, man, I don't know if I've mentioned this. So my wife and I have like a 7-week-old child at home, and so I am so sleep deprived and like brain addled and confused. So if I seem like sillier, dumber, or slower than normal, it's not a high bar. I very much am all of those things.
Cool. Okay, so it's bouncing the ball, 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 ball up into the air, and he's hit it. Oh, it landed in. Musetti doing well here. Oh, but that backhand broke down. That backhand broke down.
Ironically, I'm now behind you, so I mistimed things a little bit there. But the backhand broke down, as you say, and we have Djokovic. We're erasing one break point.
I just paused it for a few seconds there, so maybe we'll be on sync now.
Thank you. I do love the green and black. For those of you Harry Potter fans out there, it's giving Slytherin today for the GOAT. In the parlance of our times,
people like to portray him as one of the bad guys. So why not go for the bad guy's color?
Yeah. If you've got like a black base, black shorts, black socks, black shoes, any of like the deep kind of cooler colors can be like a cool dark green. Ghosty points out the purple look that Federer used to rock, which is very regal. Same deal. They all look. No, he hit it. He hit it. Wow.
Musetti is in control.
He's feeling himself too.
I plan to join you on that private jet to Turin, Novak, and I will do it as soon as I want to.
And Jake Davies has entered the chat at the perfect time. Musetti is feeling himself. Djokovic has to battle to stay in this first set. Welcome, Jake, to the chat. And R.I.P. Alan Rickman, indeed, ghost of Garolitis. James, can we get silly for a moment? Is that all right?
Yeah, go.
Which Harry Potter character do you think most represents Novak Djokovic?
Which Harry Potter?
And there's in this scenario, gun to your head, you have to pick. You have to pick.
I would say I would have to probably go with Severus Snape.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I'm going to go Mad Eye Moody.
Although he can be seen as Mad Eye Moody.
Because he's older, he's seen it all, he's done it all, he's got some battle wounds to prove it. He's a little bit nuts, but you definitely want that guy on your side.
I mean, for me, Mad Eye Moody has to be Andy Murray.
That sounds like, all right, give us the why. Break it down.
I think you are describing him perfectly. Somebody who is battle scarred, who can go crazy on court, and who can be very suspicious of anything, but to really hunt down all the key bits that he needs to on the tennis court. I see Mad Eye Moody more as an Andy Murray type figure.
I would just like to ask the chat.
Snape is more of a Djokovic type figure.
The betrayal component for sure. Matthew D'Souza, Djokovic is looking a little bit lackluster. It's tough to tell if it's just taking him a moment to get into the match or if that's just what his foot speed is at this stage of his career. And there's no shame in it if that's kind of what his movement's going to be. But you can tell he doesn't have the pop off the racket that the top players really do. It's specifically Sinner and Alcaraz. His footwork is not world class and a level above everybody else. It looks merely average, maybe even slightly below average. All of this remains relatively new for us. Father Time, however, is undefeated, and it makes me sad, but I think that we are seeing that. I would also like to say really quickly, the pockets on the shorts for Musetti are a travesty. Whoever was in charge of that design, honestly, we should bring back the public stocks for stuff like that. They should be getting like rotten fruit and vegetables thrown at them. Absolutely terrible look. Nice backhand there from Djokovic trying to get this point. see if he can get in this game and maybe get that break back, because as you know, it's not a break until you hold. Ooh, what a scramble. Tweener attempt. I mean, oh, and he gets it with the smash.
See what tweet's that? Nyaka Mens. Okay, I need to catch that.
Pretty darn solid tweener attempt.
I'm having to cover the score thing at the middle. I need to be warned if we got good tweets going up.
Wait, which restaurant is Menchik visiting there?
Katu. Do the translation. Click show translation. What are they actually talking? What is he talking about? It's the one good bit of Croc, and not just the far right stuff that Elon stuck into it.
Oh wow, that drop. Okay, so that drop shot is actually a perfect example of what has changed in Novak Djokovic's game. He didn't even run for that. It was not. I mean, it was an interesting attempt, but it wasn't like an all-world drop shot. Look at the bounce. I mean, it bounces 6 feet behind the service line on the second bounce. Djokovic didn't even go for it. That's a ball that 2 years ago, not only would he have gotten to it, he would have gotten to it and been able to attack it. And he just doesn't have the foot speed that he once did. We're going to have to see if he can make up for that with a mix of aggression and or power. It looks like he just got it he got that point with pure aggression and no margin. I don't know if he can win against a player of this level if that's his strategy. But if anybody can, it's Novak Djokovic. Now, James, if Musetti was a chef, what dish do you think would be his specialty as he hits an ace to go up 3-1?
Oh, these are questions you're trying to. Yes, what dish would be his specialty?
I'm just trying to get a little silly with it because I got the silliest today.
I don't want to say something ridiculous like toad in the hole or something. I could see it's been a bit of a maybe there'd be some sort of ragoni sort of thingy.
I don't want to stereotype, but yeah, if that guy can't make a mean pasta, that's a travesty.
I mean, generally, because he is Italian, you think it has to be some sort of Italian type dish.
Yeah, that's like a Brit that can't make a nice fish and chips. If you can't do that, right?
I mean, you do need special ways of making fish and chips. Like you do need proper batter and whatnot.
Yep.
I think you can more say maybe a Sunday roast. That would be a better analogy.
A Sunday roast. Is that? I will say I am in the background hearing a little bit of music from our other stream as we are about to get underway with Cam Norrie, Lerner Tien. James, I just want to go ahead and pat us on the back. We're covering. I mean, we're merely two guys, and we're just guys. We're not big J journalists. We're not gallivanting around the world to go into matches. We're just in our houses on a YouTube channel doing our best, and we're gonna double up here. And I don't know how it's gonna go. I've never done this before. Are you excited? Oh my God, Musetti with the.
We are doubling up.
That was a lob so good that it almost had me say an inutterable word on a YouTube live stream. That was absolutely filthy.
That lob was brilliant. I tell you what, though, Musetti, if he continues like this, is going to get the first set wrapped up pretty quickly.
Yeah, for real, man. I mean, Musetti looks great out there. Musetti looks good. You know who else looks good? Lerner Tien. He got the memo. The shorts are not long. They're staying short. They're staying short for at least another season. I know the fashion is cyclical, and they will go long again, but they're not called longs, James. They're called shorts, and I love that the young American has the good sense to know that. Wow, golly, the points here are spectacular. I mean, I don't think that Djokovic is playing that poorly. I don't think that he looks like he's moving particularly well, but, I mean, Musetti's just playing awesome tennis right now.
Oh, he is, but I mean, he is. But Djokovic there, just able to try and at least hold on. He's puffing out his cheeks like, Jesus, I didn't expect Musetti to be playing this well. But you've got Lorenzo going, look, mate, I need this win. I like, it literally, my next week depends on it.
Oh my God, the overhead there was like Pete Sampras on steroids having a fit of roid rage. It was such an unnecessary jump, unnecessary amount of pace. I think that he was taking his frustration out of the ball there, but it did look awesome. A little bit angry. Interesting attempt, James, on that first serve there, on that second serve there from Djokovic. Clearly trying to target the backhand. That's a targeting issue. You don't see the greatest tennis player of all time missing his serve wide on a second very often. And Ghosty, let the record reflect that Djokovic did leap for that. He just didn't leap very high because he's 38 years old, and what can you do?
I would certainly say if Musetti wins this, gets this double break, set one's in the bag.
Yeah,
that should be set one over.
Djokovic has managed to erase that break point.
He has indeed.
One other thing that I'd be remiss not to bring up as the Tien and Norrie match about to get underway here, as Djokovic is serving it at deuce, is that we have a ATP final with two former collegiate tennis players. That is a thing that would have been unimaginable 15, 20 years ago. And I think it just shows that American college tennis continues to be a really great place for that next tier of players to develop. If you got future top 10 written all over you, like Arthur Fields.
He did learn to go to college.
I believe he did a year at Stanford, but he did it like his senior year in high school. He enrolled early, and so this is actually something we're seeing a little bit more. Right, is like American athletes and international athletes. They can get in with just the credits after 3 years of high school. They'll go to college essentially a year early, and they'll get the college experience a year early. But then if they want to go pro in whatever sport, they're able to do that at the age that most leagues oftentimes allow them to. Which, by the way, it's outrageous that professional sports can determine when somebody can go pro. If somebody's good enough, they're old enough. I think it's like silly. But tennis does not have that problem, fortunately. Oh, goodness gracious, Djokovic. Well done to wriggle out of that one. And Ghosty points out correctly that Tien was at USC. Forgive my baby brain. I'm getting my West Coast private colleges mixed up again.
Yeah. So about looking at the tournament results for Cameron Norrie, all 4 matches he has played this week have gone the distance, and 3 of them he had to come from a set down.
Oh, the comeback kid, you could say. Man, I gotta tell you, I know that Berrettini hasn't been in tip-top form this season. But that's a really good win for Tien. I mean, when you talk about a mismatch of weapons, Berrettini, excluding his backhand, is just a walking weapon. Lerner Tien's greatest weapon is the greatest weapon of all, his mind. And that's what he had to do to get it done. He had to use to get it done.
No, I mean, he's had a ridiculously good season, Lerner, from somebody that started from qualifying in Australia at the beginning of the year to being in a situation now where he's looking good to potentially being seeded for the Australian Open next year. It's been a remarkable year. It has a final at 500 in Beijing on his resume, and also potentially has a final here. And although I hope it doesn't happen, could pick up his first tour level title today.
His success and progress was a surprise to no one who saw him at the 2024 Winston-Salem Open. Just got to plug that tournament. It's a destination. It's worth coming from California. It's worth visiting from England. It's worth visiting, I would say, from as far away as France. If you live east of France in Europe, that's 50, but definitely coming from France too, at least. Now let's see if Djokovic really is aggressive here in trying to pursue this break. I've got to imagine that was a bit of a letdown for Musetti. Watch this space, watch this game. Really, really good extended rally here. Interesting attempt there on that drop shot, but it might just work out. Wow. We got a couple of very saucy drop shots here, James. The Djokovic.
Well, I just seen the first one. Slice back, goes over the head. Oh, it just tries to do the back behind, but it doesn't necessarily work.
So it's funny, Djokovic, he stopped running on that play. He thought that he had the point, and Musetti, he took a not quite ideal line to the ball, but had he absolutely would have got there. That was sloppy on Djokovic's part. That's the kind of mental lapse that we didn't used to see out of him as well, I would point out. Oh, Djokovic going for a very, very, very tricky dropper there and just missed it. Just didn't quite get it.
Well, and Leonard Tien is serving first in the Mets final.
Indeed. By the way, it's a crime that we've gone this long without mentioning. Good.
No, I say it's a crime. It's a bit of a crime that this is the last year of the Mets tournament. It no longer will be on the calendar from next season.
Yeah, but it is an equally large crime that we haven't mentioned that this is a little bit of lefty on lefty action. Don't get to see that every day. For all of our friends who are fans of the lefty brand of tennis, for all the left-handers out there, this is a bit of a Super Bowl-like match for them as Tien is serving at 15 all. Musetti is up 40-15, trying to get another hold against the GOAT.
Hang on, how far ahead are you? Oh, Musetti. Sorry, Musetti. I got you now. Got you.
Gotcha. There's a touch of lag on my end, but looks like I should be good to go. Now, once the little man at home becomes a teenager and is streaming whatever the nonsense on Netflix is in 16 years or other things, this will not be doable. But for now, when it's just me streaming, we're good to go. And we are at 30 all.
Ghost, you are asking, is Mets going away? It is going to be no longer exist, which is going to be a real shame for. It's going to be a shame as it's been quite a good tournament to have at the back end of the year. Certainly, as in parts of the season where not necessarily going to have the biggest of places that are going to want to host an event.
I got to tell you, I know that some of the Talking Tennis contributors, they watch 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches at a time. And I think that's remarkable. I typically only do one match on, even when I'm not doing the watch along like we are today, James. But I got to tell you, having both of these up is pretty fun. I mean, it is nonstop tennis action. It's like tennis red zone for American football fans out there. Great points to start the match from Tien and Norrie already. Oh, God, an extended two-handed backhand exchange. This rally is absolutely spectacular. They were going backhand to backhand, two lefties getting after it. Tien starts the match off with the hold. Unless Djokovic can go up at a level here, or Musetti starts.
I'm going to have to ask if you could pause for me, Zach. That was brilliant on the TM one. You're a bit further ahead than me. The point's still going. Seeing how good you're saying this point is, and yeah, another backhand. Keep going. They go backhand to backhand exchange. Still go. Oh God, it really is a good backhand to backhand exchange.
Now, I certainly don't want to objectify Lerner Tien, but he's got a bit of a dumper there, which I think actually really bodes well for his future. It means he can pack on a little bit of muscle. Yeah. What a point.
Yeah, that was a great point. Unfortunately, I mean, this is going to be one of those games actually for Norrie where Tien isn't one that will spray a lot of unforced errors throughout the match, or even get spray a lot of unforced errors. Whereas a lot of the players he's played going into this contest, Sonego, Cazot, that French lucky loser I can't pronounce, and also Royer, although they've got huge serves, something that Tien may not necessarily have. They were prone to a lot of unforced errors, and we forced into errors as well.
Can I just say, James, this match is off to an awesome start. Djokovic gets the hold to stay in there and keep things competitive. The dreaded C word against Musetti. I am pausing it now at 15 love Norrie on his serve with the ball toss. So when he tosses that ball up, you let me know, and we'll get synced up.
Cool. Yeah, because I'm just seeing the first point taking place at the moment.
I'm just going to make ridiculous references. Like college roommates at Bryn Mawr.
Oh, what a backhand. Up. What a backhand winner from Cameron.
Are you getting match of the day vibes from this? I'm getting knockdown, drag out, 3 sets, long points, and a ton of fun.
It is going to be a lot of long points. Okay, and ball's in the air.
Boom. We are in sync.
We are in sync.
Come on, make a bad pop culture reference with me.
I cannot have you being ahead in the Norrie match, though.
I get it, man.
That was just in. Oh no, it's out. Yes, good. Okay.
I love the objectivity coming out of both of us. In fact, actually, you know what, James? In a way, we are going to cancel each other out. The harder you root for Norrie, the harder that means I'm allowed to root for Tien, and vice versa. And as long as we match each other, technically, we, like Fox News, will be balanced and fair.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to the Norrie stream, as that's the majority thing I'm going to be talking about, and then close down the Musetti one.
So, okay. All right. So it's me on both streams. Gonna do my best to keep the Norrie, the Musetti and Djokovic match going here, keep things exciting all the way through. But I gotta tell you, don't turn this match off, but definitely do, if you get the internet for it, throw Norrie Tien on, because it's gonna be a barn burner. Really, really solid offensive tennis there from Musetti, dictating the point effectively. He looks good. He looks really, really strong. I mean, Djokovic, he's not playing that poorly. It's like that last gear that he's had for the past 20 years. It's just not quite there. Just doesn't have quite as much pop anymore. Just a step, maybe 2 slower. And I think what this shows is not that his game has dropped off precipitously. It hasn't. It just shows how small the difference between being number 1 in the world and number 100 in the world is. I mean, the top 1,000 players, really, but especially the top 100, they are so, so good. The number 68, I don't think people understand how good the number 65th best tennis player in the world is. They are so much closer. Oh, and there's a shot of Stefanos Tsitsipas in the crowd. He is. He's watching. God, it's got to suck to be Tsitsipas. Yeah, but he's supposed to be the pride of Greece, and basically, unless Djokovic decides to move, he has been usurped. And Gosi, I don't know why Sitsi isn't playing. I just kind of assume that he had a bad round 1 loss, because that's been what most of his season is. Oh, he's injured. He's injured. Although, the funny thing about his back is it's on his brain, if you know what I mean. Tsitsipas's biggest problem remains. Oh no! James, I'm sorry, but that is such a inexcusable miss from Djokovic at 15-all on Musetti's serve. He tanks an overhead in the net. And I'll tell you a player that wouldn't do that right now. It's Lerner Tien, who's looking very good and just got another hold, I believe. Hey, are you allowed to say bloody on YouTube? I actually don't know. This is a serious question. For James, for our American audience, what is a good synonym for the word bloody? It's like means the same thing, more or less. I'm not an arbiter of what is or is not art, James, but that is barely art, if you ask me. And if he went to school in the States, he probably took on $200,000 in debt to learn how to do that. Isn't that lovely? Yes. Yep. So in the Djokovic Musetti chat, Matthew D'Souza says, great to see Steph in the house. Matthew, I'd like to know exactly why it's great to see him there, because I don't want to be a bully. I don't particularly care for Tsitsipas, both his game, his social media, anything like that. Forgive me for those of you that are on the Djokovic Musetti stream. You are getting my half of the conversation, but not James's. And so we'll try and kind of straddle that line. Try to bone that turkey. You know what I mean? Oh, and Ghosty is baiting James. Ghosty is baiting me so hard in the other chat. And I am going to get myself in trouble if I go there and express my politics. But let's just say everybody, only the good guys. Just root for the good guys. Djokovic is serving at 15-all, down 3-5, trying to stay in this set. Decent amount of pressure being put on his serve consistently, but hanging in there. That early break is really, really coming back to bite him, as sometimes they do. Ooh. Djokovic getting forward a bit more. James, it's actually something that I'd like to see more from Lerner Tien as his game develops. I think that the Tien's game, he's got so much variety, and he's not going to have the most length, but he's got great anticipation and positioning and footwork. And I think that he's got the hands to be really effective at the net. Let us not forget that he is the same height as noted serve and volleyer John McEnroe. Something to think about. All right, Djokovic looking good here. Another pretty good dropper attempt there. Yeah, he's getting forward. I think this is one of the things that's always really exciting to me about when you've got somebody who's a legend at the tail end of their career. They show us parts of their game we might not have seen as much, right? So Djokovic is not known for coming in, but his normal game that's worked for him for 20 years isn't working the way that he wants it to against Musetti. And so what's he doing? He's throwing the kitchen sink at him. He's trying new stuff. Tactically, it's the right thing to do, and it's fun. It's fun to see that variety come out from his game. And I think again the why here, and James, tell me if this sounds right to you, is that when you have a game that works, when you are truly dominant, you don't have to adjust. The other players have to adjust to you. But now that Djokovic is a mere mortal, he actually does have to show us a few more adjustments, and not just against Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. The pain in your voice, James, on the teen stream at the two aces that Lerner just hit. Is Lerner TN a serve bot? People want to know. Cam Norrie doing his best to hang in there, already down a break against the promising young American. Djokovic doing his best to hang in there as well. Now down 4-5 with Musetti to serve for the set. We are one subscriber closer to 20,000. We are at 19,971 subscribers. We've added one new subscriber in these streams. One, which is the number of missed smashes from Novak Djokovic. One, which is two less than the number of aces that Lerner TN has hit against Cam Norrie today already, only 4 games into the match. Okay, we have in the Djokovic match a gentleman or gentle person, SF Niners. I assume San Francisco 49er is the genesis of that name, is still predicting Novak Djokovic in straight sets. Now, Djokovic is returning at 4-5 in the first here. Musetti's serving for the set. If that prediction plays out, and it's timestamped there at 10:54 a.m. East Coast time, that is like by far the prediction of the day. If you want to get silly with it, bet $1 on that, because I have to imagine the odds are absurd. I'd love to see if the producer is able to pull this up on the Djokovic Musetti stream. If we can get a list of the Djokovic matches in non-majors that went 3 this year. Ghosty makes a great point, which is that Djokovic has a long and decorated history of losing the first set and then leveling up. I don't believe that trend has been has stayed at the same level in 2025, and I don't think 2024 either. But without seeing the results in front of me, my brain, sleep-deprived baby brain, cannot recall with confidence. Feel free to throw those in the chat as well, folks, if there's any match results you want to highlight there. Musetti serving at 15 all, up 5-4, trying to get this first set against the GOAT. Now, this is a great question. Let's imagine that Norrie, Teen, Musetti, and Djokovic. Let's imagine this was all these were the 2 semifinals in Athens. Would love to get everyone's thoughts on who would emerge. And I got to say, I have complete and total confidence that Lerner TN would have been the player to beat if both of these matches were taking place in Athens as the semifinals. James, do you concur, Doctor? Dare I say there is a touch of Novak Djokovic in Leonard Tien's game, which is when he decides, especially young Djokovic, which is when he decides he doesn't want to miss, he basically just doesn't miss. And even at the highest levels of the sport, simply being able to get the ball back deep with some pace and a little bit of spin, it is really, really hard to beat. And Tien, I think we've seen his fitness improve. I think we've seen him add a little bit of strength. I think we've seen him add a little bit of foot speed. And I think there's still some upside because, again, that dumper shows that he's got the ability to add a little bit of extra muscle, fill out his frame, and maybe even tighten up a bit. And thank you so much to the producer for pulling up the Djokovic the non-straight set results here. You know what? Ghosty? Look at that. Look at that. He does seem to level up when he loses a set still. Musetti is now serving for the first set. 40-30. Here we go. Let's see if the GOAT can find his magic in Athens. We've got an extended rally. And we are at... That is not a phrase you hear every day. Mistake from Tien. Musetti made a mistake at the exact same time. Very interesting. Djokovic extending the first set. Norrie trying to force the action here at love 30 on Tien's serve, hoping to get this break and get back in it. Folks, I think there's a pretty real chance that we're going to get 2 3-setters here. Musetti has a second set point here in Athens. Tien has just done a great job getting it back to even and is now 30 all in... Where are they playing again? In Metz, of course. Soon to be the tournament formerly known as Metz. Man, some bad stuff has happened there. Woof. Sorry. my Polish heritage. And there it is. Musetti has done it. Musetti has won the first set. Let's see if this trend that Ghosty correctly pointed out continues of Djokovic leveling up and going on to win this match. Got to be tough psychologically in the other match for Cam Norrie to get basically bullied by a teenager, which really did just happen at that point. James, care to discuss? I just want to say, Leonard Tien appears to have like a Mario Tennis-esque serve. It has so much slice. Like it just moves so much east to west or west to east. I'm not sure which one it is because for a lefty. It is unusual on the tour. And so I at some point in time, players will figure that out or adjust to it. But you'd be hard-pressed to think of a player who has more break in their serve. James, is there anybody else that you think replicates that nasty, nasty slice that Tien hits? Mm. One thing that I've said about Lernertine in the past is that he's good-brained Corentin Moutet, and I stand by that comp. Djokovic, by the way, in the Musetti match here in Greece, he looks rather fresh. He looks like he's still in this. I think Ghosty correctly points out that he's been in this scenario enough times that the belief is there. Sort of the opposite of Tsitsipas, who's been in situations like this enough times and always comes out on the wrong side of it. And so let's see if the GOAT gets off to a hot start here. I'm sure he's looking for an easy hold. Of course, every pro tennis player, every service game is looking for an easy hold, but sometimes more than others. Djokovic hoping to set the tone, hoping to really channel his inner Lernertine, who's now up 5-2 in Metz. Okay. In Athens, Djokovic looking good, gets the first point of set number 2. You can on the Athens stream, Jalaluddin Muhammad asks, where channel are you watching? And I am personally watching on the tennis channel. I am not advocating for anybody to get a VPN, but I'm just saying that is oftentimes a quite effective way to find free streams. Something to think about. I don't want to be a whiner, James and others, but I got to tell you, the way that the tennis streaming services break down globally is terrible. There should be one I want all of the tennis option. And, if you got to pay an arm and a leg for it, fine. But, you should be able to pay one service for the tennis, right? Imagine in every other sport, at least every American sport, it's okay, you can go NFL Red Zone or the NFL whatever package, you get all of the NFL. You can do NBA League Pass, you get all of the basketball. Even WWE, which isn't even a real sport, you can get all of the pro wrestling with one thing. Why can tennis not do that? Gee, is it because the governing bodies are leeches and suck? It could be. And it's just a friendly reminder that in tennis, the governing bodies take more of the profit and the proceeds than any other professional sport in the world, with perhaps the exception of UFC, which is famously predatory and has never had any form of union. I think a thing that people should keep in mind when thinking about the majors is they essentially are 4 distinct cartels. They have a monopoly on a product that people are addicted to, tennis, and they can more or less extort the customer and they dictate the market for everything else. So one of the fundamental problems in tennis is that the Grand Slams have an outsized say. They are like, look, they're great events. They're the ones we all want to watch. They're the ones the players care about the most, even with the 6 Kings Slam trying to get in there. But fundamentally, a Grand Slam does not owe tennis what's best for tennis. It's maximize profit. It's get the most eyeballs on that particular event. And I think that therein lies the problem. We are now at 1-1 for Djokovic Musetti. Lerner Teen has a set point in Metz at 5-3, despite a valiant effort from Norrie to stay in this set. And he almost hit an ace there. My goodness. Might I just say that in Metz, Cam Norrie just hit a Stefanos Tsitsipas coded shot. Like that was my brain don't work good. That was a terrible shot to go for, particularly on that big of a pressure point. But I kind of respect the guts that it took to hit such an outrageous attempt. Hmm. And James, you play some tennis as well, correct? Do you prefer to come from behind or to be on top? Yeah, you definitely don't want to overthink it. And that's in either one of those scenarios. Totally agree, James. As Djokovic looking pretty good in set number 2. Maybe he has come up a level. Maybe I'd say he's come up a half level here in Greece. Serving at 30 love, 1-1, now 40 love after a very nice serve up the middle. James, you are the talk of the chat in the Djokovic Musetti stream. Just FYI, just so you know. Only good things. Only good things. Only good things. Another kind of fun observation. Thank you, Ghosty, for sharing this. Jo-Wilfried Tsonga in the crowd at Metz. God, he was fun to watch. He was what stylistically one of my favorite players of his era. Just an absolute joy to watch every time he stepped in the courts. What is with the French cranking out unbelievably entertaining tennis players and the most boring cuisine? I said it. Yes, French cuisine is boring and uninspired, and we should be more honest about that. Fusion is the future. The traditional ways are dead. Lerner Tien for president. So I'm going to take a crack at this question, but James, I'm going to ask that you do this on the other stream as well. We were asked what our top 3 cuisines are. I'm going to put a spin on that, which is what are the top 3 cuisines when you are playing tennis or trying to play tennis competitively. And so I'll tell you what will not be on that list, respectfully. Anything from the UK, certainly nothing from France. I have to say, I think Japanese. I think it's the right combination of good carbs, some good, nice lean protein, and yumminess. So Japanese food for sure in the top 3. I'm gonna throw. I'm a sucker for Thai. I think same deal. I think like you need to stay regular when you're playing high level stuff, and a little spice can help with that. And then also get good carbs, a lot of different proteins in there. Definitely Thai, and also just amazing flavors. It is a cuisine that also pairs nicely with dozens of other ones. And then lastly, would be remiss to not include Italian. Look, if you know you got a big match coming up and you need a carbo load, rip that pasta. James, what are your top 3 cuisines for tennis? As Learner Teen is absolutely cruising on this service game. And Djokovic is making Musetti work a little bit in Athens. James, your ancestors would weep. They fought wars to get that spice. Sad. Fair. You know, when you're right, you're right. That's true. That's true. So we've got SF9er who took the Joker at money line plus 105, asking, "Am I cooked?" The answer is probably, but with Novak Djokovic, you can never say for sure. So keep watching, man. It ain't over until the fat lady sings. Oh, that's funny. SF9er says Joker wins and retires. That's I mean, all this talk of like he's gonna do it at Wimbledon, maybe Australia, maybe just what at the end of the year. That would be the funniest possible outcome, that he uses the Athens tournament. And also, I mean, it's not crazy. It's his new home. What better way to say, like, I'm planting the flag, this is where I'm gonna be, than I've won my new hometown tournament, and I want to go out on that high note. I think I would truly, gosh, if there are odds on will Djokovic retire after this match, I've got to know what they are, but I have to imagine they're like silly high. Learner Tien looks a little bit like a cat who's caught a mouse and is just toying with Cam Norrie, just absolutely running him around, working him. Matthew asks, why isn't Djokovic, like he points out he doesn't understand what Djokovic is doing in the rally, and he wants to know why he isn't just penning Lorenzo in the backhand corner. It's a great question. I think that is the playbook that in all likelihood would give him the best shot to win. It seems, however, that with a couple of those early winners, and then also just some really good footwork and the right balance of aggression and high percentage, Musetti has made it too difficult to be pinned down. Clearly, Djokovic is trying, but he's not really succeeding. And so we're seeing him try out a few different styles, just hoping for something to stick as he hits the deck on that point now. Big point at 30-all. Musetti serving to make it 2-all at 40-30 in Athens. And for the love of Christ, people, hit subscribe. 23 subscribers from 20,000. Nobody's getting rich off this. This is a passion project. Hit subscribe, please. Please. James, you know, one of the comments was that Djokovic is trying and failing to pin down Musetti, but clearly that's the strategy. Potential that he might succeed there. How difficult how do you make it difficult in the court when somebody's trying to pin you down? I know. I know when I'm getting pinned down, in some ways, it's almost a relief. It's almost a release, you know? It's like, okay, like I'm here. This is where I'm going to be. I just got to ride. I just got to roll with this. I just got to be along for the ride, kind of hang out, and let the action come to me. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword when you get pinned down. Because a lot of it is just getting it back. Just sitting there and taking it. Just taking that offense. Oh, what is the person in Mets drawing? And like, why it's just the same squiggles, but now they're a different color. I'm glad they've provided us this upset. This update, but like, I don't know. Do they just put a filter on it? This is baffling. Again, not the arbiter of what is or is not art, but that is for sure the lowest form. Hey, write in on the chat with what you think the lowest form of art is. Spoken word. I mean, when it's done right, it's really good, but it's not done right very often. Let's be honest. Djokovic with an absolutely filthy volley there, doing the patented more or less split. Again, I do think that he's seeing pretty consistent success when he comes forward. And so to Matthew's point earlier, he's trying to pin down Musetti on the backhand side. That's only half working. But when he gets into the net, so rather than just trying to pin him there and keep him there, might suggest that he just focus on getting forward. Djokovic now up 3-2, firmly in this match, trying to take it to 3. James, Ghosty says that politics is the lowest form of art. Do you concur? Fan fiction might be the lowest form of art, actually. Fan fiction is definitely a form of low art. That being said, 50 Shades got started as fan fiction. People seem to like that one. I got to tell you, I'm looking at Djokovic right now on the sideline in Athens, and he looks locked in. He looks like the conversation going on in his head right now is, I grew up playing tennis in a bombed out pool, and I did not come this far to lose this match. I am going to win this. If I had the Djokovic plus 105 line at like SF Niner, I would be feeling cautiously optimistic right now. He is not giving up. There's no retirement. He hasn't had a medical timeout, so he's still got that in his back pocket, as he likes to reach for sometimes. I think we're going the distance in Athens here. I do not think we're going the distance in Mets. Sorry, James. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to disagree. It's all right. This, you know. You son of a gun. I shan't stand for any Leonard Tien slander. Just for those that are watching exclusively on the Djokovic Musetti stream, it was Leonard Tien was besmirched. He was called merely a pusher. And I want to say that's only half true. He's an apex pusher. He is the apex pusher, in fact. Write in on the chat if you agree that Leonard Tien is the apex pusher, as Djokovic has a very, very nice point there. Getting a little silly with it by blowing at the ball to make sure that it goes out. James, you're going to get us kicked off. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers. Sir. Gosh darn it, indeed. Gosh darn it. Shoot. Fiddlesticks. Knuckin' futs. You know, folks, there are two amazing streams happening right now on the Musetti Djokovic stream, which is a very good match. And, you know, I think you're going to get a little bit of quiet time because I want to, you know, there's only me here. If you would like to hear a man having an existential crisis, though, James is giving you that and more on the Nori Teen stream. I want a supercut of James going, "Oh, no, Cam," from this match. It's so good. We are at 3-all in Athens. I am desperately trying not to make a joke in Athens about the National Bank of Greece. Musetti looks great. If I'm bumping up against him in Turin, I'm unhappy about that. Yeah. Hey, if you are watching the Djokovic Musetti stream, if you're watching the Djokovic Musetti stream, put in the chat which non-Sinkaraz player you think has the best shot of winning in Turin. And before you say there is no shot, I agree, but go with me on this hypothetical, or tell me that you disagree, that it's not a lock for Sinkaraz. As Djokovic now is up 30-love at 3-all. We're seeing quite a bit of chatter for Shelton, both in the chat and elsewhere, as a dark horse in Turin. So in addition to Turin, we'll have the next gen finals, which I do kind of dig that they do the weird format for that. I think it's kind of fun, sort of. I go back and forth depending on the day. Today I'm feeling like, yeah, sure, let's do the weird best of 5 fast 4 stuff. Yeah. Remind me, where is the next gen finals? Oh, that's right. They did 9/11, and we, seem to have gotten over that awfully quickly. But yes, I agree that I'm glad they're moving that to somewhere else. I mean, yes, it hasn't been amply documented, sure, but they got a lot of oil, so we got to be cool about it. So for the next gen finals, though, do we think? Oh, Djokovic up 4-3 with Musetti to serve. Nori with the break point. We are having a nice little tennis Christmas in November. We are 23 subs away from that magic number of 20,000. I have it on good authority that once we hit 20,000, that's when Fergus Does America gets set in motion. So please subscribe. I cannot wait to hear what the young Brit has to say about his trip through Mississippi, Vermont, and any number of underappreciated American states. James, would you agree that Lerner Tien is swagged out? I mean, that's a very swaggy walk after a very swaggy point in general. I want to play a fun game for those of us in the Musetti Djokovic stream still. What is the challenger tournament that would be the least fun to attend as a 20-year-old on some combination of holiday and a work trip? I cannot wait to figure out what the worst challenge like it's got to be a combination of it's got to be an unfun city that's hard to get to with bad weather. What is the worst challenger event to cover? Think really hard about this, folks. And if there is one in Mississippi, I can guarantee you that's in the top 10 for least fun. Ghosty, respectfully, I simply will not stand for Ulaanbaatar or Mongolia slander in general. A challenger event in Ulaanbaatar would be sick. That would be a top 5 one that you'd want to cover, especially if it overlapped with the NADOM Games, the national sporting event of Mongolia, which we all, I'm sure, know. I mean, the Nottingham Challenger wouldn't be particularly exciting. That's fair. Okay. Nottingham. Okay, well, I'll hear Nottingham. That's fine. That's fair. Anything in South America is sick. Like anybody, you should go for sure to South America. That would be a good one. Ghosty, to your question, the NADOM Games, wrestling is but one component. Mongolian wrestling, of course, is one, as is archery. And then there's also a game that they play with, I believe it's goat knuckles that I don't really understand. And there's one other event too. It's the NADOM Games are sick. Oh, Tenerife. What has to happen for me to get sent to the Tenerife Challenger and to bring my wife? Because that would be a darn good time. The Tenerife Challenger's got to be like a top 5 one that it would be fun to go to. James? Wow. Very cool. How was it? How was Tenerife? Oh, yeah. I'm more of a Marbella guy myself, but Tenerife is good. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, James, but did it hit? Djokovic has a break point. Djokovic has a break point at 4-3 in the second. He is 1 point away from being on the right track to take this thing 3. SF9er, good news for you and your money. I think the real question right now, SF9er, is will you double down if this thing goes 3? What is your degree of confidence that the GOAT is going to get it done? As Nori is up 3-1 in the second. We might be going 3 in both these matches, folks. I don't know why GOATs and Nori would be in the same conversation unless we're talking about his homeland of New Zealand. Oh my goodness. Djokovic has done it. He's done it. He's done it. That is the point of the match. He has gotten the break. He will be serving for the set. Stefanos Tsitsipas, the shot they just showed of him, he had this look of, see, this is why nobody beats him. It was a knowing look that I can only imagine has some mixed emotions for the young-ish at this point Greek player. Wow, that was vintage Novak. The golden Oldens are still here. Man, the flick one-hander that Musetti can do on the run, it's not an ultra-high percentage shot, but it is remarkable what a weapon it is. And it took every inch of Novak Djokovic's frame and racket to get to that ball and win that point. Absolutely marvelous tennis there. Hey, James, I have found the worst challenger, by the way. Tallahassee, United States in April. It is Tallahassee. Florida sucks. Unless you want to shoot a gun indoors, Florida is not the state for you. Yes. It's Florida is a vast state. We shouldn't reduce it to the caricature of Florida, man. If you know, you know. But I would not want to spend a week in Tallahassee. Yeah, it's just like really can't think of many places I'd rather want to spend a week less. I don't know enough about. Yeah, it's not quite the truly brutal part of the year yet. So that's not too bad. I'm looking at where these challengers are, man. There's some really fun ones. Ooh, Little Rock, Arkansas. You don't want that. You can feel the legacy of stuff in the air in Little Rock, if you know what I mean. Yucky down there. Frightening. Birmingham, Great Britain. I've got my cousin married a fella from Birmingham, and I know that's where Peaky Blinders was, and I don't believe the subtext of Peaky Blinders is that it was a fun place to be. James, can you confirm? Okay. Okay. That is my ancestral homeland. Fun fact. That's amazing. That is where my grandmother is from. Or was from. She didn't stay for a reason, you know? Yes. So we are now at love 30 on Djokovic's serve. This is famously why they say it's not a break until you hold. Not only is it love 30, it is his second serve. Musetti clearly looking to pounce and to be aggressive here to really take it to the GOAT and try and generate a break point in perhaps multiple. Let's see what Djokovic does with this serve. If I'm him, I'm going body. And he goes body, and he gets the result. Musetti misses a tough slicing into the one-handed backhand serve. Djokovic now at 15-30. Norrie looks like a different player in set 2, but so does Djokovic. Kind of similar themes, actually, in these two matches, despite completely different styles and locations. Djokovic serving at 30-all here. 30-all. And, well, he needs to start making that first. He's making life a little harder on himself, going to the second so much. He goes out wide. Pretty weak return from Musetti. Leaves it a little short, although he much better with the next ball. A little more depth on it. Djokovic working the backhand, like Matthew said earlier, and unfortunately it does not work for the GOAT. Musetti rips an up-the-line one-handed winner. He now has that break point. Djokovic is 3 points away from winning the set and 1 point away from being back on serve. This is yet another time where I feel compelled to say the tennis is the greatest scoring system ever designed. And in Mets, my goodness, Cam Norrie with that smash. Emphatic. Indeed, indeed. I mean, look at how far Norrie took Tien off the court with that ball as Djokovic gets an ace on the break point. Absolutely massive serve from the Serb. I know. I was just thinking about like serve from the Serb. Like there's got like, I wonder if he'll start a podcast when he retires. It could be like Serbs Up, like Serves Up could work. Could be serving aces. There's something there. Huge deuce point here. Djokovic has been through a lot of big deuces in his career, and he comes out on top there. He now will be serving for the set. I think that he's got to take Musetti wide to the backhand here. Set point for Djokovic. Let's see if he makes my prediction right and goes out wide here to Musetti's backhand. Nope, he hits an ace up the middle. Oh, I guess let's take a big step back and go myself. We are going 3 in Athens at the hometown tournament for Novak. No kidding. Yeah, Djokovic might be. I mean, when he's taking his bag with him, I actually, I would love to be able to bet on the bathroom break. I'm gonna guess he's not back for 7 minutes, and that is technically breaking the rules. but he's a trailblazer and he can get away with it. Folks, I'm just going to step away for one moment as we are likely going 3 in Metz and certainly going 3 in Athens. And what will I be doing? Any number of things, but I'll be back in less than 7 minutes, unlike Novak Djokovic.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Hey, thanks for taking the time to, well, you haven't got any choice actually. I'm just talking at you if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of home page, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos such as this one here, where we look back on.
Can you believe it? We're going 3 in Athens and we're going 3 in Metz. And I'm going to enjoy a gentleman's speedball, which is a cup of coffee and an edible. If you like those things, highly recommend you enjoy those on your Saturday too. Is that a new term? Well, definitely it's a sweet of sorts. What may or may not be in it, who knows? And I love that we just got a subscriber. I think that was the thing that just got us that subscriber. I think we know this person came to talk about tennis, and now we're talking edibles. James, one of the nice things, and this is just for all the folks listening who are thinking about starting a small business, as a small business owner, it does give you license to say dumb stuff publicly without having to worry about it. Because, like, what am I going to do? Fire myself for talking about a thing that I do on a tennis live stream? No. But if I worked at like a big corporation, I could see a world in which they wouldn't love what I've just said. I will also say, when you work in politics, in most countries, typically one party is a little more permissive of that kind of thing than another. And so, keep that in mind. We are at 19,980 subscribers. We are underway in sets 3 in Metz and Athens. What a lovely Saturday. Yeah. Somebody should be studying SF9er from the other chat who is hitting on every bet that they're sharing. Now, in my experience, when somebody is hitting on that many bets, they're oftentimes not hitting on several other ones and just not mentioning it. So SF9er, are you just an elite gambler or what? I mean, that's an absolutely textbook shot by Nori. I mean, clinical. And he's got those weapons, but this is Tien. This is him at his worst, right? He left both of those balls far too short, and Nori was able to attack. Musetti serving first. Yeah. Yeah. The one knock that I'll say about Tien is that he sometimes leaves the ball consistently too short. And I think it's when he's either a little bit tight or when he's really playing to not miss. I think that, like, it's okay for him to give himself a little bit less margin, especially against somebody like Nori, who's capable of attacking those short balls really effectively. Djokovic now 15-30 over in Athens on Musetti's serve. If he starts this thing with a break, yeah. Let's see. Oh, Musetti with a huge serve there out wide. Flat. Barrels past the GOAT. 30 all in game number 1 of set 3 in Athens. I actually think, for those of y'all who are only watching the Athens stream, that you should know this. A stream of James just watching Cam Nori by himself is as entertaining as nearly any tennis commentary I've ever seen. It's like a religious experience. James, this is fantastic. And we've got 2 holds from both tournaments to get things started. Musetti gets it done, as does Lerner the Burner. Is Lerner Tien still 19? I think he's a kid. Next gen, yeah? Yeah. Wait, is that the place where where they killed a journalist in their embassy? Country? Right. Oof, yucky. Too bad. Then again, No, just know that again. That's very bad. Can't wait till they move it. I think it's gross. The sports washing we're seeing in both the ATP and WTA. But when you've got a bunch of soulless execs that put profit above everything else, that's just what's going to happen. Oh, buddy. Djokovic just hit a very, very spicy drop shot. He's developing new like layers to his game to win right now. It's a ton of fun to watch. Like his default Djokovic style is not going to get it done, and it didn't get it done against Musetti. So he's getting a little wacky with it out there. It reminds me a touch of when Murray was grinding out in some of the challenger events, and we were just seeing different versions of him. Somehow very much the same, but also a little different. In a way, Murray really became his true self, grinding it out in the challengers tournaments as a 37-year-old or whatever he was. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it was like it was just sheer will, right? Like the physical talent was gone. It was just guts and will. Yeah. Well, it's like saying the foot speed is still there for Usain Bolt, but putting like ankle weights on him. You know, like he just the body wouldn't let him do what the brain wanted to, and he had to get win by other means. Want to point out that in Athens, Musetti is wearing a shooting sleeve. Nice point by Djokovic there. Did that serve hit for Norrie? No, just a touch wide. James, I'm not sure that we've created the best viewing experience with us on multiple streams here, but I got to tell you, for somebody like me with ADD, this is absolute like catnip. Just bouncing between streams, bouncing between chats, like never a dull moment. I hope the Talking Tennis community is having as much fun today as I am having, James, with you across these streams. This is like this is tennis maxing. I feel like I'm injecting tennis into my veins. And a second serve to attack. Ooh, catching the toss there is such a tell that something has gone awry. Mm-mm. Like the great British band Get Down Services song says, he's not feeling it. I'm always trying to drop a little British culture in there just to show that I am technically a British citizen. I'm not technically. I am a British citizen, so I feel like I should know like a thing or two, I saw that Louis Theroux got himself in a little bit of trouble the other day for having one of the Bobby villains on his show. The thing about Bob Villain is that like they should legally be allowed to say all those things, but their music isn't very good. Like I have no problem with somebody expressing those opinions, even though I don't necessarily agree. I just think that they should be better at the music side. Like it's like shock activism in lieu of actual musical talent. But hey, we're not talking Bob Villain. We're talking tennis. So let's get back to it as Lerner Tien is in the driver's seat in Metz. A lot of people are saying they haven't seen an American be this dominant in France since, WW2. I went back even further than Jack Sock in the Paris Masters. James, I feel like we Tien's serving so well. The thing is, because his game is so placement and touch based, if he has one game where he's not hitting his spots on a serve, nor he can attack. And so there's always that risk with Teen. He's always 2 bad placements away from getting broken. Yeah. So James, I can't answer Ghosty's question for you. Oh, wow, just sailed it much. I can't answer Ghosty's question for you, James, of how often do you get in a bit of a hole, but I can say for me, I find myself getting in a bit of a hole quite a bit less as I've gotten older. Just making different choices. What do you mean getting a hole, James? Yeah, yeah. I think, do you get down in a tennis match? Sometimes on the courts, when I get in a hole, I find the only way is to smash my way out of it. Sorry, Ghosty and I've been making bad puns for like an hour now, and I got 33 years old doesn't get old. If anything, the desire to make bad, semi-lewd puns only gets greater. So it looks like the match that could turn out to be more interesting here in set 3 is in Athens. Djokovic, it's love 30 on Musetti's serve at 1-all. And he's been doing a really good job of applying pressure, really the bulk of the second set and here at the start of set 3. And I think I can't hear the crowd because obviously, James, you and I are talking and we're engaging with the audience here, but I have to imagine they are going absolutely bananas for the Serb, for the future president of Yugoslavia. I gotta say though, man, like it's not like Musetti has blown it here. Like Djokovic has raised his level. Musetti, regardless of the outcome, should feel very good about his performance today. James, you were so right that there are 3 tournaments that tennis fans want to see. 3 huge matches, and they set them all 30 minutes to an hour apart. That is absurd. If there was any kind of real governing body in tennis, they would have made sure, again, there are different time zones, that one at a time would happen so you could dedicate yourself, so you could make plans around it. And that's the kind of thing that simply doesn't happen in tennis today. And it's outrageous, and we should all be angrier about it. Write your Congress people, write your prime minister, write your MP, show up at protests. FIFA is known as this corrupt governing body, and they are. Tennis seems to skirt away because you get a bunch of people that look like, business folks in suits, but they should absolutely be getting their feet held to the fire more. These little scheduling things, they hurt the fan experience meaningfully. Wow, Djokovic now has 2 break points after an absolutely massive backhand winner. Oh my God, Ghosty, by the way, go back to the worst challenger location, says it's Aleppo. It's pretty clear to me, though, at this point, that if the country of Afghanistan put up enough money, they would put a WTA challenger in Kabul. They put a 250 in Puyang if the money was there. I like that. Yeah. And hey, here we are at the Pyongyang Challenger, brought to you by Saudi Aramco. Oh man, goodness gracious. And welcome to the South Sudan Open, where there's some bad stuff happening outside of these walls, but there's a lot of money being made by a couple executive inside them. That's it. I mean, I shouldn't laugh at a challenger being paused because the army shot some people outside the gates, but like, you know, that's one of the beautiful things about tennis. It's so unpredictable. There's always something new happening. The bees was a really special moment. The bee guy was the main character on social media for a day. I love the utter lack of urgency the bee guy displayed every single step of the way in that process. Just total confidence that there was no backup plan and that he could do it on his schedule. And he was right. There was no plan B. You see what I did there? And oh, beehive indeed. Djokovic has gotten the break. He is in the driver's seat. What number tournament win will this be for him? 101. I don't know that Djokovic cares about one-upping Jimmy Connors because I just don't think that professional tennis players think about Jimmy Connors in the record books. Yeah. Oh man, but I mean, you know that Djokovic wants that record over Federer. I think it drives him nuts that people are like, "Oh, well, Federer is really the GOAT because his game is so pretty," which is an absurd Western Eurocentric argument that's total nonsense. But it continues to be made by semi-serious or claiming to be serious commentators, and I think Djokovic just wants to add yet another line of defense against that BS. Oh, but he wears a nice cream blazer when he plays on center court. Okay, well, Djokovic won more tournaments. Or he won more majors. He won more big tournaments. Federer doesn't get dinged enough as being a 250 merchant, but let's be honest. More than Djokovic, right? I love just making outrageous claims with no evidence to back it up. Let's see. I thought so. Djokovic has won 64 big tournaments, which is majors and masters. Federer interesting. Yeah. Wait, so how many Masters events did he win? That's 12 less than Djokovic, by the way. He's a 500 merchant. That's what it is. That is a lot of 500s for Federer. I think you could make a genuine case that he is the Arthur Fields of the big three. Yeah. Brother James, I think Teen's got this in the bag. I think Nori needs an easy hold and at minimum a lot of pressure. James, with us being in the home stretch here, do you want to give it a go to join back on both streams? Because right now We got two great matches. We got two great audiences, a little bit of overlap in them besides just you and I. And I know the people, they don't just want to hear you, James. They need to, for those watching in Athens. I don't know how to check the streaming numbers. Gonna be real with both these audiences here. There could be 0 people watching us. There could be 40,000. It makes no difference to me. I would talk tennis to nobody, and it is such an honor and a pleasure to get to spend a little bit of time with those of y'all listening and watching. And I just we don't say it enough, but like, thank you to John Silk for putting this all together, creating this great community, and giving us all an outlet. Because again, we're all going to be talking about tennis anyway, but now we get to do it with folks from around the world. We get to hear new perspectives and ideas. We get to hear about new fandoms and homerisms. You know, obviously James for Nori, me for Teen. Sorry, James, better day to be on this side of things. You're welcome to become a Teen True Believer at any point in time. But it is a really, really cool community and a ton of fun. I know for me, the moment with Teen, it was we were watching. I was with a couple of buddies, all tennis players, at the Winston-Salem Open, and there was this skinny little young kid, learner Teen, and he was playing. We thought just out of his mind. He simply was not missing against Fabian Morozin, who's a legit top 50, top 60 player, and he won the first set. Then he lost the second somewhat dramatically. We thought, okay, well, you know, Morozin's now figured him out. Lerner Tien with 2 break points against Cam Norrie in set 3. Bad miss from Lerner Tien to get rid of 1 break point there. Djokovic looking very good in set 3, up 2-1, about to go up 40-15 to try and get up 3-1. Jake Davies has re-entered the chat. We got big things happening, folks. And we are 17 subscribers away from 20,000. That's so many people. I love that out of 20,000 subscribers. Oh. Fitting for the French tournament, there is a fella in the stands wearing a Le Coq de Sportif shirt. A fantastic brand, although their sizes, like most French brands, a little small. They run you a little small. If you're a medium with that brand, you're probably a large. Little pro tip from Uncle Zach there, folks. And we've got a great question in the chat, James, and for the audience, which is, when is John Silk going to write a tennis-themed book? We absolutely are taking suggestions for title, subject matter, etc. Weigh in with what book you'd like John to write about tennis. I think I would love a book called The Big Three Who Weren't. Yep. Norrie is held. No bagel, no breadstick. There's a Pyrrhic victory and major UTR implications for Norrie. I would actually like John to write a book called Everybody Else, about the amazing talents and personalities that were just completely erased by the Big Three era. And I think it could be, Wawrinka is like the one that it's like, okay, like, do you put him in it or not? Because he did break through. I think you could put Team in the same category. But I think just like, I would love a whole book just dedicated to to interesting characters and talented players who were in the top 10 during the peak of Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic. Djokovic looking a little bit tired now. Granted, it's it's third set, but like, you're indoors, man. Like, It's barely tennis at this point. Just power through. That's another thing that I'd love to see. Get rid of indoor tennis at the professional level. You wouldn't. It's a different sport. Yes, it indoor tennis absolutely has its place. Its place is in practice on a rainy day. It is not tournament caliber tennis. Would they do a golf tournament indoors? Certainly not. Wait, really? They do golf indoors now? Oh, they should stop that too. Yuck. 10 thumbs down. Hey, 15 subscribers away from 20K. 15 from 20. Everything about that sounds like a dystopian hell to me. Everything about indoor golf, yuck. Yeah. Now, I want to point out in the Djokovic match for all the hairy fellas out there and all the stinky fellas too, you'll notice that Djokovic has shaved armpits. And look, this is just like a logistics thing. Easier to apply deodorant directly to the surface if you shave your armpits. It's something a lot of the ladies do, not in France, but it's something that I think more of the fellas should do. I will tell you, I started doing it a few years ago. I smell better when I play. It's a good thing to do. Don't do it for you. Do it for your friends. Do it for the people working out around you. Do it for your partner. I want to go back to you, James, about the indoor golf thing. How long does it take to get through 18 holes indoors? They can't handle 18 holes? Yeah. Oh, whoa. Sorry. Nori with the break point. You're right, man. Yeah, like didn't really look like it was going to be going this way, but mere minutes ago, and that's tennis as Djokovic is serving up 3-2 in Athens. Wow. And James has gone from 6 to midnight. Nori is back in the match. Congratulations, buddy. How's it feel? It's first tournament jitters, right? Tien has not gotten his first tournament win yet. Yes. There is a YouTuber who's actually a shoe doctor, Zach. I am neither a shoe expert nor a doctor, let alone a podiatrist. But I do want to say, out of all of the shoes on display in these two finals today, Djokovic's are the ones that really speak to me. The Slytherin themed shoes look sick. Those look really, really good. And also, Asics are a spectacular brand. They are my personal shoe of choice. I will say, though, for those of you gearheads out there, while the shoes are excellent, I find the laces rather flimsy and thin, and I highly, highly recommend going to see Shoe Doctor Zach. Again, it's a different Zach who's an actual doctor that has a bunch of different recommendations for laces that are of a superior quality. Oh, what a point here from Musetti Djokovic, and Musetti misses it. Djokovic up 30-love. Musetti expresses frustration with the little racket bop of the net. We are in crunch time in Athens and Metz. And what a day of tennis we're getting to enjoy. And this is before we even get to the WTA, which I will have to decline to join. Yeah, for real. Oh, wow. Somebody unsubscribed when we were at 15 away. Respectfully, you dick. That's so mean. Okay, that was an insane exchange at the net there. And I love that Tien just went right at him. So you'll notice, folks that are watching the Tien Nori stream, Tien goes right at Nori. Nori is not upset, unbothered, and that is very much a normal, acceptable pattern of play in college tennis and at the collegiate level. It's something that some of the pros who didn't go the college route get a little weird about sometimes, though. That's a bad miss. That's a bad miss from Tien. Yep. Whew. James, I don't know if you've got the Djokovic Musetti stream still going, but Musetti hit an absolutely disgusting forehand there. He does that where he's moving backwards and can get his momentum going from backwards to forwards on a dime. I think that is one of the most elite traits in Musetti's game, is his ability to go from neutral to offense, or sometimes even just defense to offense, seemingly at the drop of a hat. Plus the unpredictability factor with it. Oh, my goodness, Larry Tien. One critique that I've got of Musetti's approach here, particularly in sets 2 and 3, is I think he's being far too passive on his forehand return. I get that Djokovic has a fantastic serve still, but there are too many slice forehands to just start the point. I think, down a break, especially at this stage of the match, Musetti needs to be a little bit more offensive. And folks, if you hear a crying baby in the background, forgive me. That is my male heir, my son, baby Archie, who I cannot wait to bounce and hang out with after these streams. The next great American tennis player, Archie Chikowski. Forgive me if you hear him in the background, but you will hear him and hear of him again, probably in like 17 to 23 years, based on, his tennis progression. He's already holding a racket, James. Djokovic and Musetti just had what is absolutely the point of the match. I cannot believe what I just saw. Djokovic has collapsed onto the ground. Musetti is doubled over. They are both exhausted. Unbelievable point for Musetti. Massive point, too, with Djokovic having been serving at 40-30, now going to deuce. Djokovic did the same thing again that he did earlier in the match, which is he thought that he had won the point and he stopped playing. And that ultimately, it looks like almost certainly cost him that point. This is just a new chapter of his career. I think, when you're at the top for that long, it's hard to stay as committed and as hungry. And those little mental lapses, those are relatively new things. We simply would not have seen that from Djokovic even 3 years ago, maybe not even a year ago. I'll tell you what, watching the Nori Tien match, there is no loser. There's only a winner, and that's the fans. This has been awesome tennis. And candidly, like Musetti Djokovic has been very, very good as well. I mean, the level is spectacular today. And I just want to stress that all of the hand wringing, you're like, oh, when the big three era ends, tennis is never going to be as good again, was so dumb. Tennis is as good today as it's ever been. It's awesome. It's a great time to be a tennis fan. People should stop being weird. Just enjoy it. Ghosty, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had an absolute blast making not so subtle puns with you. Thank you as always. Musetti has a break point now after the point of the match. Djokovic, if he was anybody else, I'm sure he'll be feeling nerves. Because he's him, he's probably just noticing how much ice he's got in his veins. Ooh, Nori. God, this is like tennis nirvana right now. This is tennis sicko nirvana. No. Oh, wow. Djokovic erases the break point with an emphatic slam. Almost as emphatic as the slam from Lerner Tien and 15 Love a moment ago. So a thing I'll say for anybody who's a wannabe tennis player at home, like James and I, when you're thinking about players who serve, you should try to emulate. Oh, good. No, let her rip. Let her rip. But go back to like serves to emulate. Lerner Tien is actually a very, very good serve to emulate because he's 5'11". He is a normal enough height. There's very little that an average height player has to learn from Novak Djokovic's serve because the launch point, everything about it is just unrelatable. Lerner Tien, that slice serve, like, a 10% as good version of that is something that every rec player in the world can learn how to hit. That's a motion that you can emulate and try and steal. And I think that we'd be better served trying to hit serves like that. Like, there is no point in anybody watching the stream trying to serve like GMP. You have nothing to learn from him. You are not like him. He is not like you. Lerner Tien is somebody who's maximized relatively limited physical gifts, and that is a game style, thus, that the rec players watching should be trying to emulate, in my opinion. Norrie really attacked that serve, but didn't seem to get him much. Djokovic serving it at in 3-2. The tension is palpable, James. My goodness. Oh, it's in the air. I feel like every match is a race against time, as well as a race against time for us to get to 20,000 subscribers, which would be a super cool thing to be a part of. And so if you're watching, you haven't. Wow. Norrie with the break point. Djokovic and Musetti are in a crazy extended rally, and Musetti erases it. It's all good, man. Have fun. No one's getting rich off this. Just have fun. Have fun. I think it's great that you are this passionate about the match. I am so bored with commentators going, "Oh, that's a courageous shot," and nothing else. We need more passion in this sport. Boop, 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 boop. James, we gotta get you some art, buddy. We gotta get you like a nice Cam Norrie poster for behind you for the stream. Lerner Tien's so awesome, man. He's just so fun. Djokovic has another game point, by the way. Kathy RZ has entered the chat and says, "Vamos, Nole." Kathy, didn't look great in set 1. I'm going to tell you the truth. Set 2, it was a little dicey at times. Set 3, it looks like he is here and ready and able, and he's got what he needs. Tien is 1 game away. Djokovic serving to be 2 games away from another championship, number 101, putting him 1 away from Roger Federer, the most overrated of the big 3, as he's widely known. Oh my goodness, Musetti. Musetti just absolutely treed that ball. Woo! Djokovic not even mad. Indeed. Djokovic not even mad about that winner because it was such a massive shot. I mean, and then just an excellent point start to finish from Musetti. Again, just regardless of outcome here, Musetti is really showing glimpses of the player that he is and that he can continue to become. Yet again, another great example, the one-handed backhand flick passing shot there. That actually was Federer-esque. That was, and I think one of the things that I am really impressed by about Musetti, it's not just about his one-hander. It's not just that it's good. It's the variety with which he can beat you. He can do the drive. He can hit the slice. He can redirect. He can hit, he can hit the passing approach shot. He can add a little bit of spin. He can add a lot of spin. He can hit every type of one-handed backhand there is to hit. and he does all of them at a high level. Granted, various ranges of high level, but he's got all of the shots, and you just don't see that hardly at all. Yeah, I mean, they have been leaving it all on the field, leaving it all on the court here. Djokovic now has a break point to fend off. Musetti goes with the slice backhand to start the point. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is tennis. And Djokovic dumps it in the net. Sweet. I mean, Musetti fended off, I think, 4, if not 5 or 6 game points there. That is incredible work from the young Italian. I don't want to give all the credit to the man bun, but certainly the man bun is not holding him back. We are at 3-all. Both of these have been incredible sets. Yeah. Yep. It would be great for Djokovic to end on a relatively high note as well, because I think like a lot of fans, I want him to get one more major. I just want one more run, just one more. And I think Australia, in my opinion, is his best shot. And so ending the year on a high note before really committing to one more season of training would just be fantastic. Teen is 2 points away from his first ATP championship. Oh my goodness, what a return. Wow. Cam Norrie absolutely cranking it. Musetti up 15-love at 3-all. I mean, both of these matches could not be any closer in set number 3. Frankly, the first 2 sets in both matches were fine. The third set in both has been electric. Everyone has raised their level today. The fans have gotten their money's worth. Musetti at 30-love, trying to get in the lead on the scoreboard for the first time in set 3. Djokovic, even being him, must be thinking about some of the pivotal moments in that 3-2 service game that he ultimately was broken on. Pretty bold of Norrie there to take that kind of service positioning. I think that's something that more players should do, by the way. Yep. Musetti up 40-love now after getting that break, and I think it's hard to imagine that Djokovic is not at least still holding some lingering thoughts in that last game. I think that he's going to get through this and hopefully get back on track. Marina Kostic in the chat says, "Imo legendo." And I believe that translates to "Let's go, legend." I am not sure what language, though. But that's one of the things I love about the Talking Tennis and the tennis community broadly. It's a global community. Always learning new stuff. Like that Nottingham would actually be a fun site for a challenger. Would not have guessed that in a million years. Same for Birmingham. Djokovic, as always, looking determined. Now 40-15 on Musetti's serve. Musetti playing great, looking great. Everything looks great except for those stupid pockets on his shorts. And again, whoever designed those should simply not work in fashion again. Horrible looking design. I award that person no stars, and may God have mercy on their soul. Woo! Like Cam Norrie, Djokovic is not going away. 40-30 after Djokovic has won the last 2 points on Musetti's serve. Let's see if he can take it to deuce here. after an absolutely massive forehand winner. Some very, very nice slices from the two players as well. Although that last one just was not going to get it done for Musetti. Pretty weak attempt there. Left too much time for Djokovic. Oh, just oh, he hit it. Come on. Oh, wow. Djokovic hit that. I thought he missed it. My goodness. Djokovic has taken it to deuce. Thiem has 2 game points. The drama is off the charts. You can cut the tension right now in the air with a knife. Yeah. Djokovic now has a break point after being down 40-love on Musetti's serve. This is a roller coaster of emotions here in Athens. My goodness. Comparable roller coaster in France. I don't think that we've seen an American and a Brit do battle like this since, dare I say, the War of 1812, James? More and more people are saying. Oh my goodness, Musetti and Djokovic. I mean, the caliber of tennis in Athens right now is unbelievable. I mean, this is major finals caliber tennis, and it's at a 250. These are 2 of the best tickets in sports this year, because it's not like these are mega arenas either. Wow. And Djokovic is really, really leaving it all out there. You can tell that he wants this. This is not just another tournament for him, nor is it for Musetti. I mean, the stakes, you can feel how much the players want this. And what a testament to everybody involved. I mean, these guys have to deal with long seasons, and they are playing their hearts out at the absolute tail end of that season. Djokovic has another break point in Athens. Let's see if Norrie continues to use some of those more cavalier service positions to set up some easy points, or if he goes back to more traditional. And Djokovic in an extended rally with the break point against Musetti. He's working the backhand. Musetti doing an admirable job. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. He is absolutely pinned down, Musetti, and he just couldn't handle that dropping backhand as Djokovic came in. Oh, my goodness. Lerner Tien. Oh, the caliber of tennis that we're getting to watch today in both of these tournaments. Lucky day to be a tennis fan. Borderline point of the match there in Metz. Musetti serving at deuce. Djokovic trying to generate another break point. Musetti with a massive ace that Djokovic appears to have totally misread. Very unlike him on a pivotal point in this match. Djokovic is having opportunities here. Musetti is just being a little bit better in these pressure points. Looks like we're going tiebreaker in all likelihood in Metz. And you know what? Oh, and Musetti just had an awful miss. Oh my goodness, I cannot stress how bad that miss was. That was, I mean, he had the entire court. He had Djokovic running away from the ball, and he sailed it on game point at 3-all in the third after fighting off some break points. I I cannot imagine just moving on and not thinking about that. Now, that's why I'm a rec player. Wow. A fitting ending in Mets for a great run. Damir Sehovic says Ajde Nole, which I also am going to assume means let's go Nole. I can't believe the team gave up the mini break immediately, as Djokovic now has a second serve at deuce in Athens. Djokovic has another break point, James. My goodness. For the people that are watching the Athens stream, do they just think I'm talking to my imaginary friend James? I think you probably do. Woo! Teen with the mini break back. That looping forehand that really set things up for Teen. It's not a shot you see a ton at this level and on tour, but it remains very effective. And I think it's why some people are calling him the apex pusher. As Djokovic now has a second serve on break point number 3 this game. Let's see what Musetti does with it. Oh my God. Musetti double faulted. Oh. Hey, look, full disclosure, folks, I am rooting for Djokovic. I think that probably wasn't a secret, but my heart goes out to Musetti right now. Every double is a bad double. But after he had fended off multiple break points, after he had multiple game points, including at 40 love, to lose that game on a double fault is catastrophic. Almost as catastrophic as the missed backhand from Lerner Teen. That missed backhand from Teen on the approach shot and Mets was so uncharacteristic. That's his worst miss of the day and an absolutely critical juncture of the match. But I believe this is a 10-point tiebreaker, correct? What? Oh, that sucks. They should make a 10. Give the fans a little bit more there for their money. Yeah, so that matters even more in a 7-point tiebreaker. Oh. Watching this tiebreaker in Mets, you can tell that Teen is young. You can tell that he is feeling a different level of pressure because he's had at least 2 misses in this tiebreaker that are completely unlike Lerner Teen's game. I mean, it is, look, everyone is human, right? These are high level elite athletes, but they have emotions and feelings, and they're not immune to pressure. And it looks like right now Lerner Tien's feeling just a little bit more of it than Cam Norrie. And I think that we're seeing a very similar effect in Athens, where Musetti has some baggage, as our producers pointed out. He's had some tough losses. Cam Norrie at the changeover, 2 points away from a title. Here we go. Novak Djokovic, 4-3. 2 games away from another championship, another tournament, another trophy. Oh yeah, of course. So you're gonna jump on the Djokovic stream, James? Okay. Oh, all good. All good. All good. Wow. Djokovic up 30 love in the driver's seat in Athens. All right, set up. Tell me the punchline. We haven't seen a Serbian in this much control in Greece since, and I don't know what old world joke there is to make there, but sure somebody does. Anybody looking at my face? My goodness. My goodness. Musetti just hit one of the sickest winners I've ever. I mean, the unbelievable full stretch forehand. Wow. And Teen battling back in Metz. Again, if you are a tennis fan with ADHD, this is bliss. And Djokovic has 2 game points at 40-15. I think that SF Niner has the fastest stream of anybody and is ahead of everyone. Oh. Oh, I'm laughing both at James on this other stream. Both Teen and Musetti just hit disgusting winners. And Djokovic is now 1 game away from the tournament. Wow. Musetti serving at 3-5. Norrie serving at 5-all in the third set tiebreaker. This is the height of tennis drama. Look at how well Teen is moving there. Lerner Teen with a championship point, correct? Yes, indeed. We are 13 subscribers away from 20,000, and we are 1 point away from Lerner Teen's first championship. Yeah, this is going to haunt Cam Norrie if he loses this match. Straight up. He will have nightmares about this day for the rest of his life. Not to be dramatic. Oh, Lerner Teen's second serve, though, is not exactly the strong point of his game. Let's see what Cam Norrie does with this. Oh, Norrie erases championship point number 1. We're at 6-all in Metz, and Musetti is up 30. Love down 3-5 in Athens. Tennis is cresting, peaking, whatever you want to call it. It is 2 awesome matches reaching their end point. We got a second serve from Teen and Metz. Musetti serving at 30-15 in Athens. Lerner Tien is so awesome. I cannot believe what I just saw. Lerner Tien. Lerner Tien is my best friend. I pray to the altar of Lerner Tien. Musetti serving at 45. Take us to one more changeover in Athens. Great return. Coming up in 90 seconds, Novak Djokovic will be serving at 5-4 for the championship. Lernertine with another championship point in Metz and a second serve. This point is incredible in Metz on this match point for Lernertine. You can't help but feel that he's going to find a way, and he does. Folks, the question you should be asking yourselves about Lernertine is not, will he win a major? The question is, how many will he win? We haven't seen a sub 6 foot American lefty who spent time on the West Coast and time in college at the college level with an all court game this good since John McEnroe. This is the future of tennis. Lernertine, know the name. James, condolences, buddy. Cam Norrie put a valiant effort in, and man, he looked good. Lernertine looked better. I think that Cam Norrie can leave with his head held high, knowing he left it all on the court and played his game. Lernertine has arrived. And a special moment between father and son there for Lerner the Burner. I get chills watching that as a recent dad. So much work, so much time, so much love, so much emotion. What a special moment for Lernertine's family and him. And what a great day for America. We have so many less than ideal things happening. It's nice to get a victory like this. And the chat goes wild for Lernertine. James, I know you need to go. We need to wrap this stream up. Give us your closing monologue before we get on out of here. Yeah, of course. Have a great weekend, James. And thanks so much to everybody who joined in for this watch along and in the chat. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Just do it. Just get it done. If you're here, you're still watching, you enjoyed yourself, so you should subscribe. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Thanks, everybody. And if you would like, you can join me for the conclusion of the Djokovic-Musetti match on another stream on Talking Tennis. Okay, and kind of a weird one for y'all that are still here because I'm still here and I just signed off on the other one, but now we're down to one stream, baby. Djokovic down, love 15, serving 5-4, trying to close this thing out, add another title, add another trophy. I don't know what his trophy room setup is, but it's got to be legit complicated housing all those things because it's not like these are like itty bitty trophies or worse yet, the dreaded medal. The only medal that's worth having as an adult is an Olympic one. And most of us aren't getting one of those. Woo! 15 all. 3 points away from the championship for the GOAT. Musetti's on the run, full stretch cross-court forehand has been reliable and really, really strong this entire match. It's a shame for him that it lets him down at a pretty critical juncture there. That being said, very difficult shot. Unrealistic to expect to make it every time. Such an even match. Djokovic really mixing it up and bouncing the ball a lot here. He's got a second serve. At 15 all, 5-4 in the third. Hey, and if you think of a nice joke for the National Bank of Greece, go ahead and throw that in the chat. Let's have a little fun. A little light humor. Oh, Musetti with a decent return, but should have done a little bit more. Djokovic now on offense, coming in. Musetti with the all-world passing shot. Djokovic needed to do a touch more. Need to either put a little more emphasis on that volley or get it just a little wider. Musetti, that forehand that we talked about on the run, this time down the line, not cross court, but absolutely clinical finish there from the young Italian. Djokovic serving at 15-30. So the screen is showing that Djokovic's forehand quality is taking a bit of a dip in set 3. I haven't seen it, to be honest, but it also showed that Musetti's has gone up a level since set 2, and I think certainly in these last few games we have seen that. Todor Babic, welcome to the chat. Stanisa Arambasic, welcome to the chat. P. Gaffa, welcome to the chat. Here we go. Let's see what Djokovic does with the serve. See, that's where Musetti's not being aggressive enough. That forehand slice return, he's just got to do more, especially when it's up the middle on the ad side. Gets it done for him. I mean, now he has 2 break points, but it's because of a Djokovic error, not because Musetti took the action to him. I know that point worked out for him, but I really, really think to win this match, Musetti has to do a bit more on that forehand return. And there's a fella in the audience with a very silly pair of glasses, the red ones. I'm not sure if y'all just saw them, but they made me chuckle. Djokovic now has to fend off 2 break points. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, God, the pressure right now on everybody involved. Works the backhand a little bit early. Takes some cross court. Djokovic goes back to the backhand. And Musetti with a really sloppy slice attempt into the net. I mean, that was just a weight transfer issue. The technique was the issue. Which look, you can't fault these guys. They've been absolutely battling out there for hours. I'm sure they're both exhausted. But that was a technique breakdown at a critical moment for the young Italian. Every coach, every coach in America would say, don't be moving backwards when you hit the ball. And that's like, so Musetti, I'm sure he wishes had that one back. One more break point here. Djokovic on offense. Musetti playing very defensively. Oh, and then he gets a little bit of luck with the passing shot. Oh, he gets the net assist. Musetti does what you're supposed to do and goes, oh, sorry. But I'd like to know on a scale of 1 to 10 exactly how sorry that guy is. I'm pretty sure 0. We now are at 5-all. Musetti got the break. Hey, if you'd like producer John to join for their final couple games, chime in the chat. I know I would, John. The people need you. They want you. And that's the only way we're getting to 20,000. 5-all. My goodness. The drama is off the charts. This match has gone a little longer than I thought it was going to, folks. And I'm going to be honest, I was sort of hoping to be on baby duty by now. But that means after this match all afternoon, just me hanging with the little man. If you've got kids at home, highly encourage you to do the same thing. They're the future. You know what they say, folks. Not a break until you hold. Let's see if Musetti can get this hold. Djokovic wins the first point. They are having some fantastic extended rallies, that being one of them. The drop shot, it's not necessarily a winner every time Djokovic hits it, but it's a winning shot. He is utilizing it very effectively. He is winning the point far more often than he's losing.
Can you hear me?
There he is.
I'll be back in a minute, all right? I'm just going to go through this tie break between Sabalenka and Rybakina, but I'll be joining you potentially full for the rest of the match, depending on what happens in this tie break, all right? But I'll be back I'll be back shortly, all right?
Later, John. Thanks for popping in. We are 11 subscribers from 20,000. Make my weekend. Come on. And forgive me if you hear what sounds to be a baby goat or a crying baby in the background. That is my son, baby Archie. Next great American tennis player. He's a baby. He doesn't have words yet. That's all he's got. He's just saying, I love tennis in baby language. Oh, XYZ says in Serbia they cannot watch Novak Djokovic. And I'm not exactly sure what the why is there, but that's a bummer. But hey, you can watch along with us. I'm having a great time watching him. We don't have the rights to air the match itself, but we can keep the score up there. We can tell you a little bit what's happening. We got extended rally, and Musetti just absolutely that is his second sloppy slice backhand miss in 2 games. That is simply not going to get it done. And Djokovic will continue to pick on that if given the opportunity. 15-30 on Musetti's serve. I'm sure Djokovic is hoping to get that break back right now. Let's see what he does here. Musetti, ball goes up, serves it out wide. Musetti comes in behind it, and he misses the half volley in the net. Novak Djokovic, the greatest of all time, has 2 break points at 5-all here in Athens. And our Serbian audience going nuts, and appropriately so. The old man looks like he might just have 1, maybe more, still in him. 2 break points here. Musetti serves at the middle. Djokovic gets it back, relatively short. Musetti with an easy put away. Classic serve +1 tennis. Nothing that the serve could do besides get that ball back. And Musetti with a clinical finish. Still 1 more break point for Djokovic. Serve clock is ticking. Okay, we got a big audience in Serbia. Get active in the chat. Ask any questions, make any predictions. We got a second serve here for Djokovic. Here's a prediction. I think he's going to attack. He didn't get here by playing timid. An attack he does. Unfortunately, he misses wide with the inside-out forehand. We are back to deuce in Athens at 5-all. Patrice Imariz, I'm sure I mispronounced that name, says Djokovic will win 100%. It has been a roller coaster of emotions, a real back and forth. We will see if that prediction plays out. SF Niner lost all their parlays because of Sabalenka. That's tough. Yeah, especially when that's tough. You hate to see it. Did that hit? Looks like Djokovic has. Oh, he used every inch of the line there. Look at this. For those of you unable to see, this was a millimeter max on the line. Djokovic has now just generated another break point on a really, really, really tough backhand passing shot. I can't believe that ball went in. To the naked eye, it looked like he missed. Straight up. If I'm Musetti, I'm probably feeling a little conspiracy theory minded, thinking, is that shot spot like that good? Because it was truly the closest it possibly could have. Yes, Ozan points out correctly, millimeters in, although Ozan, I might say millimeter singular in. It was so close. Okay, Djokovic has another break point here. Musetti's got, on the last break point, Musetti double faulted. Or last break game. No double fault this time. Djokovic gets it back to his backhand. Deep cross court. Goes back to the backhand for Musetti. Musetti goes up the line. And Djokovic, after a very good backhand by Musetti, misses cross court in the net. We are back to deuce. All this time, all this energy. Here we are. The difference in this sport between winning and losing is so small. It's not a game of inches. It's a game of millimeters. As we saw a moment ago, Musetti serving at deuce. Here we go. Up the middle, ace. Huge, huge serve. 229 kilometers per hour. Somebody translate that to a system that makes sense, if you don't mind. That's a lot of miles an hour. I'll tell you that much. I didn't know Musetti could get up that high. Is that number right? That that's like broken radar level speed. Nope, 229 says it right there. Goodness gracious. Up the middle on that end. Djokovic attacking, pushing Musetti back. Djokovic hugging the baseline, goes cross-court to Musetti's backhand. Djokovic goes an inside in up the line, and Musetti can't handle it. We are back to deuce. And not only are we back to deuce, we are joined by the John Silk himself, as we are 9 subscribers away from 20,000. John, how we doing, man?
Doing well. We probably needed a third set from Sabalenka Rybakina to get to the 20K mark, but who knows? You never know. We might get a 21-19 tiebreak here in Athens. By the way, let's try and see where our streams are at. I have what's the score on your stream right now?
It is deuce. Musetti is bouncing it to serve at deuce at 5-all, and he is served, and Djokovic returns it. Musetti going cross court forehand, and Musetti with a Shankopotamus. Another break point.
Yeah, your stream is slightly ahead of mine.
Well,
I will now talk you through this point that I have. So I've got deuce right now, and Musetti. So I'm about to watch that point that with Musetti about to serve. I'm not going to
give us the call. I'm going to pause it at when he's bouncing
I'll call
the
it.
ball right in.
So Musetti here about to serve, but we know how this point ends up. But Musetti here serving to the back forehand of Djokovic, forehand Musetti, also into the forehand of Djokovic. Yeah, and there's the shank. And the fist, clenched fist comes up from Novak. And it's a break point for the Serb. Remember, he was serving for the match in Athens. I've been watching all the scoreboards, all the scores. I was keeping, obviously, very much focused on Rybakina Sabalenka. I'm kind of shocked that this match started well over an hour before Rybakina Sabalenka, and that match is done. James, I've just seen write a WhatsApp saying he's devastated after his man was 5-1 up Cam Norrie in the tiebreak before losing. But here goes Musetti here, facing a break point. Where are you going to go with this serve? Has that landed in? No, it hasn't. So a second serve for Novak Djokovic to look at.
Wow.
Breathes out. His 101st career title, maybe just a few points away. Let's see. Musetti here about to serve. Don't double fault. He went huge on that second serve, and he has double faulted.
Is that a double fault or was that a let cord?
It's a let.
I thought that both actually might have been let cords, but I could be wrong.
It was just the way Musetti reacted because I've got the volume down.
Yeah. Oh, the drama. So here's another serve and add it out
for him in a way because I thought he double fault, but I'm guessing it landed in the way he's probably reacted to that. Anyway,
yeah,
it's the second serve, but it must have just been a faint touch on the net. Anyway, it is what it is. Second serve here, Musetti goes huge on that second serve, and then tries the drop shot that doesn't work. Djokovic is going to have a second chance to serve this out.
Musetti is in his feels a little bit right now, and I think questioning whether that was a let. In fact, I think he's also questioning whether, in fact, that ball was really out. Those are 2 millimeter level bad breaks for Musetti. That's tough. That being said, the fading away, inside out, behind the baseline drop shot attempt on a critical point, there is not a coach in the world that would say, yeah, that's a good idea. Literally every single person who has ever coached tennis would say, do not do that. They would say, do not do that to Carlos Alcaraz. Now, Carlos Alcaraz would do it and perhaps get away with it at a higher clip than anybody else ever. But Musetti is very good. He is no Carlos Alcaraz. Djokovic serving yet again for the championship. We are 8 subscribers away from 20,000. And with that in mind, where are my Serbians at? Serbians, pop off in the chat. Represent your country, represent your guy. This is a big moment.
So many storylines and narratives here, Jake. Now, that's Jake. I'm calling you Jake. I don't know. Jake is a guy in the chat. He's welcome on the stream if he ever wants to join. Zach, so many storylines. I mean, there are some that are so super obvious. You know, the Athens title being it, but there are some that are, and obviously some that are slightly less obvious. We know Musetti is walking this tightrope. He has to win this match and win the title to qualify for Turin. We still don't know if Novak is going to play Turin. I wouldn't be completely shocked if in his speech he takes the title and then says, I'm pulling out of Turin. So at least you've got that nice little consolation, Lorenzo. Honestly, any possibility regarding Djokovic and Turin, I think is still on the table. I felt all week that he's going to play Turin, but now I'm not so sure given the endurance that he's had to go through in this final. But that's a story from maybe 5-10 minutes away, maybe even a couple of hours away from now. There is another one, though, which is, of course, that Djokovic is chasing his 101st title. And that will get him a little bit closer to Jimmy Connor's record of 109. And there's another one, which is that Lorenzo Musetti has had some really painful losses in finals. Considering he's a top 10 player and one of the best players in the world in so many areas, especially I think maybe he's a bit closer to the top in clay compared to maybe indoor hard. And yet he's not won a title since 2022,
Oof.
which, bearing in mind, he's been in a Wimbledon semi-final. He's been in a French Open semi-final. He's there or thereabouts, you know, in quarters and semis at big tournaments. Anyway, Djokovic is serving for the title, 6-5.
We are underway, and the Serb with a huge forehand
+1.
winner. I mean, that is an advanced +110. It wasn't that weak of a return from Musetti. That is just offensive tennis.
Yeah, good depth.
And Ayush Vashishta has cracked the code of why this match is going the way that it is. When he's following it live on YouTube, Novak starts losing. But here's the kicker. When Novak stays in the lead, as long as Ayush stays with scores on Google. So something to keep in mind for all the sports bettors out there.
Yeah, so here we go. Djokovic backhand to backhand right now. Of course, it's the one-handed backhand from Lorenzo. Forehand now. Just low neck clearance there for Lorenzo. Has he missed that backhand? No, I think he's painted a line with that one. He's painted a line with that one. Another slice here from Lorenzo. Forehand from Novak. Really cautious, that forehand from Novak. Even if he's won 100 titles before. But he's going a bit bigger on that forehand. But Lorenzo defends really well. But he can't defend this one, surely. That drop is going to work. It is. 30 love.
He is fired up. He is fired up. And you know what? He should be.
You'd think he
was do what he
his
just did.
Title, not his 101st.
The hunger that burns within him is something that mere mortals simply cannot relate to. My goodness. The intensity of that point, the distance they both covered, the energy they had to exert, and Novak's not doubled over just trying to breathe. He is fired up and getting the crowd into it with him. Look at that.
Yeah, 30 love, 2 points away now. Of course, he was serving for the match at 5-4. He was also up a break, wasn't he, at 3-2? And there was at least the scoreboard. I wasn't even sure if the scoreboard was stuck for a while. It seemed to be such a lengthy service game. Then he's eventually broken. And he's hit an ace down the tee. 40 love.
Novak Djokovic, and he does this to a bunch of different people. In the first set, is like, well, you know, he might not be the same guy. But now in this set, maybe he is the same guy. Maybe he says, shut up, Father Time. I'm not done yet. 3 championship points, John. Here we go.
I'll talk us through this point, as I might be just fractionally behind you on the stream. So 40 love, 3 championship points for Novak Djokovic for title number 101.
101.
Indeed. Okay. He's bouncing the ball. He's taking his time, as you would expect. Here we go. Down the tee. It's an unreturned serve. And Novak falls to the ground, winning title 101 as though it means just as much as his first title. I can't honestly tell you off the top of my head where that first title was. I think he won Mets once a long, long time ago, but I'm not sure that was his first one. But it would have been an early one. And that means that Musetti, at least officially for now, is not going to chew in. Given the warmth of that exchange, by the way, at the end of the match, I'm wondering if he even said, look at him. I remember him doing exactly the same as this when he won that epic against Carlos Alcaraz, ripping his T-shirt like he's just done. And
I've got to wonder, how does a sponsor feel about that, John? If you're Lacoste, are you like, okay, great, my logo is going to be in everything? You're like, hey, man, like, it's a nice quality. Don't do that.
I think the bothering from Lacoste is not that it's about the quality, but it's also that maybe they wouldn't want it to be quite so obviously breakable.
Yes. 2 hours and 59 minutes. And
59, so not quite.
Djokovic's level did not drop. If anything, with each passing hour, he went up a level. I mean, just remarkable. Just remarkable. John, forgive me. I have got to hop, but I just want to say to all of our Serbian viewers in the chat, thanks so much for tuning in. There seems to be some kind of challenge to watching Djokovic play in Serbia. And so, we've seen in the Philippines, the fans have been huge for all the Iala matches. Maybe we've just begun the start of a truly special relationship with our Serbian audience. So thanks so much, John, for having me.
Zach, thank you for joining. You've done great today. It's been an epic bunch of streams and none more so perhaps than that most recent one. But thanks, Zach. Speak to you soon.
Later.
Bye-bye. Okay, I'll still stay live for a few more minutes just to reflect on the 3 finals today. 3 very different, but 2 of them at least were very epic. We've got Arina Sabalenka here, by the way, about to talk on the podium in Riyadh.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for incredible atmosphere the whole week. I really enjoy playing in front of you. Thank you so much for the support today, especially. Maybe, not the best performance, but Helena, you were definitely a better player today. You literally smashed me out of the court. So very, very well done. Happy to see you playing your best tennis. Nice comeback at the end of the season, and now it's time to enjoy our off season and enjoy this beautiful trophy. Thank you everyone.
Sabalenka taking the loss today a lot better than she did in the French Open final, for example.
Part of the process of growing tennis in this beautiful country. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you everyone who helped me during this week. I really enjoy my time here. And of course, last but not least, well, maybe not the result we all wanted today, but oh my God.
Don't cry, Irina. 5 subs away, by the way, from 20K. Oh, she is a bit emotional, bless her. She's had a lot of losses this year. Tough ones. I mean, she's won the US Open, so it's still been an incredible year.
Yeah, I guess I'm getting old. I'm getting really sensitive.
Won Miami.
Yeah, so many things to be proud of.
Yeah. The margins are fine.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks very much, she says. All right, people. So that's Aryna Sabalenka. Let's just quickly get back to Novak Djokovic, by the way, who's just won his 101st career title. Be interesting to know if there's any developments regarding his participation or otherwise in the ATP Tour finals. Do let me know in the live chat if you do hear of anything. Do we think that's going to happen? I'm just going to share a tweet here from Ben Rothenberg to that end as well. In the live chat, on the screen there, you can see. We're going to hear from Elena Rybakina in a moment as well. This is the scene that I was telling you about where he ripped his shirt off there. Hey, Ozan, long time, by the way. Thank you. First ever title for Djokovic was in 2006 in Amersfoort when he beat Nicolas Massou. Of course, Nicolas Massou, I think, went on to be a coach of Dominic Thiem. Anyway, here's Elena Rybakina.
It's incredible, and I want to congrats Aryna also for being #1, second year in a row. It's an amazing achievement. It's incredible, and congrats to you and your team. Today was such a tough battle. Some moments I got luckier, but again, it's tennis, and I just hope that we're gonna play many more finals.
She got lucky with that net cord.
Together. And of course, I would like to say thank you to the fans, to the crowd. It was.
Rybakina, they're winning 5 matches out of 5 and dropping just 2 sets en route to the title. Losing a set to Iga in the group stages. And Pegula in the semis.
And all the people who made this tournament possible. It's really a great tournament, and I think we will enjoy our time here. And of course, last I would like to thank my team, Stefano.
Stefano is her coach, of course.
And to Stefan, my physio, always trying to make me healthier whenever it's possible. Also, President of Kazakhstan Federation, Mr. Vladimir, thank you so much for coming and supporting. And Gennady, it's an honor to see you here. Thank you so much. And of course, each person in my team, not everyone is here, but they always support, they always help. And yeah, just thank you again. And thanks for sure to my sponsors, family, and yeah, everyone who is supporting me and really by my side. Thank you.
We'd like to ask Ms. Abou Al-Arabi to present the trophy for the winner.
Okay, so that's Elena Rybakina, the WTA Tour Finals champion. We are 4 subscribers away, by the way. We're now going to just go back to thinking about that Djokovic-Musetti encounter. Just having a quick look at some of the stats from that particular match. We are still, of course, waiting to find out about Djokovic. So Djokovic hit 35 winners. Musetti hit 38. Djokovic hitting just 27 unforced errors. Now, 27 might sound a lot to you, but considering it was 7-5 in the deciding set and just how nip and tuck that was and how lengthy it was, 2 hours and 59 minutes, 27 unforced errors is not bad. Musetti hitting 32. Total points won, Djokovic 100, Lorenzo Musetti 93. Pretty solid stats here as well from Djokovic, getting 63% of his first serves in, winning 70% on his first serve and winning 58% on his second. Musetti out-aced Djokovic today, hitting 10 aces to Novak's 6. We're going to hear from both players before I bring this stream to an end. Djokovic there serving so well, serving it out to love. It includes some incredible serves, particularly down the tee, none more so than perhaps that on that match point, on the championship point down the tee that was unreturned. Look how excited he was. He was just as excited to win that 101st title as he was to win his first title in Amersfoort in 2006 when he beat Nicholas Massou. Thank you, Ozan, for that little thing. Musetti, as was suggested in the live chat, didn't look too disappointed with the loss. Maybe he knows something we don't in terms of Athens. Are we going to hear from Musetti now? The bald kids being thanked as they come out. Let's see if we can get to the speeches. Maybe they're going to be coming up. And we'll do that before we end the stream. 3 more subscribers, by the way, for 20,000. So please hit that subscribe button. We're also going to be live in about an hour and a half. We're going to be live in an hour and a half with Steve Flink, previewing the ATP Tour Finals. Will that ATP Tour Finals be featuring that man on the screen, Novak Djokovic? Well, I'm hoping we find out either in the post-match speech or in the next hour or two. I think it's, honestly, I have absolutely no idea. 1 subscriber now away from 20,000 subscribers. Who is going to be that 20,000 subscriber? If you are watching right now and you haven't subscribed, click subscribe. There we go. What a magical figure and a magical moment as we realize Novak Djokovic has won his 101st title. We have reached 20,000 subscribers. Of course, we may lose a subscriber. Who knows? Someone could unsubscribe right now. And in fact, somebody might be thinking this will be a lot of fun to unsubscribe to bring us back down. But ultimately, I'm sure we're going to say, look at that, 2 more, putting us well over the line, 20,002. I'm just going to try and stay live for a little bit longer to hear the speeches from Musetti and Djokovic, because we might get a little bit of a breaking news story in terms of potentially finding out if Djokovic is going to be playing in the... Oh, look, someone's unsubscribed. You little teasers out there. Is this Musetti now going up? Give us the speeches, people. Yeah. I still... Let me know in the live chat whether you think Djokovic is playing the ATP Tour Finals, by the way. Give me a yes or a no. It'd be good to find out. And then, yeah, here comes Musetti to get his runners-up, by the way, trophy. From Novak's brother, no less. Oh, and someone's unsubscribed again. Thank you. Djokovic gesticulating to the crowd to give him more of an applause. Some Italian flags there in Athens. This is Lorenzo Musetti. 9-1 is the head-to-head now for Novak.
hopefully I can come back. And of course, no, what can I say? There's no many words to say about yourself, about your career. You're proving still at your age. You're kicking ass like mine, like today. But every time that I stand for against you and I share the court with you, I take it as a lesson. So thanks for that. Of course, I'm gonna say thanks to the organization, everyone who made the tournament possible. I think it's a really nice location with a super beautiful center door and full of people, full of tennis fans. Hopefully, we can have more here in Greece. So. And last but not least, I want to say thanks to my team, to my family, who are always supporting me.
Another finals loss for Lorenzo. Still not won a title since 2022. There you go.
But I'm sure that pretty soon I will reach that goal. So thank you, everybody. Thanks.
Okay. We'll stay live just to hear Djokovic's speech, and then we'll bring this show to an end. Still time for you to hit that like button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Excuse me. Okay. Djokovic now taking the plaudits. Gives his brother a hug. Tournament director in Athens. Of course, Novak Djokovic has recently become a new resident in Athens. Kisses the trophy. Holds it aloft. Honestly, seeing him celebrate today is as though he'd never won a tournament in his life. Never mind 100 before today. And here he is now.
I don't know where to start. I think, first of all, out of respect for Lorenzo and his performance today and his performance all week, I want to say a few words.
Okay, this might be the moment.
I think at this level, we all pretty much experienced the feeling of playing such a close matches and losing. So I know it's a tough feeling to accept right now, but if there is anything positive to take away, this is your performance, your level of tennis that has been incredible all week. Especially today, honestly, I played you many times on different surfaces, but and I know that I hope you don't mind me saying, but you probably play your best tennis in clay courts over the course of your career. But honestly, now your improvement on hard court is amazing. So keep it going. You're on the right path, and I'm sure the future is bright. I would like to now take the opportunity to thank the people of Greece, of Athens, for coming out and supporting the tournament, supporting tennis, supporting sport. This is the first time that Greece has this kind of level of men's tennis tournament in more than 30 years. And honestly, the overall feeling after this week is like, it felt like the tournament, like it never left, like it was here every single year. You guys were amazing, honestly. Thank you so much. I would like to thank, of course, my team, my family. That has been Amazing week, a very special week for me because all my close and far family is here. All my best friends, closest people in my life are here and now in the stadium. You know, my son is there, my brothers. I mean, I've said this before, but I'm going to repeat it again. Playing here and just being here feels like home, and you guys make it like that for me. Thank you so much. And I would like to pay a special tribute and respect to organization of the tournament, and in a combined efforts with the government of Greece and all the authorities, this tournament happened in 3 months, 4 months. It was a very, very short time, and I think many people don't understand how challenging it is to organize this kind of international tournament at this level. And I think this was a perfect finale, perfect ending. Honestly, you guys showed that you have passion and you have love for the tennis, and I really hope that Athens will have a tradition in hosting big tournaments, international tournaments.
Okay, so that's the closing speech there from Novak Djokovic. We await to find out whether he is going to participate in the ATP Tour finals. What is for sure, though, is that Felix Auger-Aliassime will be there. But whether it is Novak as well as Felix, or whether it is Lorenzo because Novak pulls out, we'll wait and find out. But honestly, Novak has yet to announce he's not pulling out, and it is now, well, less than 24 hours before the tournament gets underway, and around about 48 hours before he's due to play his first match. Yes, I think he'll probably, it'll be known then. I think that's when it'll be known, which will hopefully be sometime in the next hour. Anyway, that brings this epic stream to an end. Thank you so much for all of you who joined. Wonderful that we reached the 20,000 subscriber mark during it, even if it has just dropped down by one. I'm pretty confident it'll soon be back up to 20,000 as I see Stefanos Tsitsipas congratulating the two finalists and takes his place in the center with Novak Djokovic to his left, the winner of the title in Athens, the first 250 in a long time in Athens, and Lorenzo Musetti accepting the runners-up spot. But yeah, we'll find out whether Novak is going to be playing in the ATP Tour finals. But until then, see you in just over an hour for an interview with Steve Flink live, by which time we will know whether Novak Djokovic is participating in the final of the ATP Tour final. So we'll be revealing it on that show at the very least. So make sure, look at that, another couple of subscribers. Thank you very much. We'll be knowing that, and we'll be talking about that and so many other topics. Looking forward to the ATP Tour finals. I'm sure we'll probably have a quick look back on Novak Djokovic's win in Athens as well. So that is with Steve Flink and I previewing the ATP Tour finals. Coming up, it's tennis historian and Hall of Fame journalist, exactly, Steve Flink. We'll be on the show in just over an hour, so we'll see you then. In the meantime, thanks for joining us, and you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.